on how many blues licks
Okay, yeah.
qualify
Okay.
the genre.
All right.
How many
Hold on.
blues
Hold
licks in
on.
a metal song make it a blues metal song?
How many
Yeah,
licks to
exactly.
the center of a metal song does it take to make it blues?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Fine, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're missing the point, though.
This
It's
is-
like it's fucking it's metal and it's twee pop. It's two completely different things, and they're mixed together.
I don't even know what
But, like,
twee
they're-
pop
it's
is.
literally-
I think you're mispronouncing tree.
Poppy. Well, I found her, so I'll listen to her.
The 2020 album, I disagree, is very, very good in my opinion.
And I disagree is a
Okay.
good song. I really like that song. I
Oh,
cannot
that's-
stand. No, no, I
didn't
have no.
realize that
I
was
just I like
thing.
a couple of songs, but I cannot fucking stand Poppy herself. She's the most annoying character ever.
I love her already.
I hate it. But the songs that are good are
It's more
good.
controversy.
It's terrible. Yeah. Hey, dear asshole. Bring
Wait,
that
why
segment
don't you
back.
like Poppy? Do you just not? Are you just like, this is annoying because?
She's just annoying. Like in that song X, you know, when they start out and it's like heavy riffing and she's like, "Ooh, heavy. Hate
Oh
it.
yeah. Okay.
Hate that. But
Yeah.
then the song's
That's
good.
like that's the whole.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's the whole fucking. Like
I don't
that's the
like
whole
that.
artistic part of it. Yeah.
I don't like that.
He's basically just trying to be like, it's like a corrupted pop singer that's like
Poppily-
created. It's like a whole
Pop-
thing.
Poppy.
Poppy, and formerly that Poppy, is an American singer, songwriter, musician, YouTuber, and religious leader.
Whoa!
Wow,
what?
it's
Now
a
that's
cult.
whole
Ain't it?
wrinkle.
Put
Now
a
that's
ring
whole
on that,
wrinkle
buddy.
into the thing.
Why
That's
why
a
me?
keeper.
Why me?
And
Because look at your jacket.
Oh yeah, she's 25 too.
This is my writer's podcaster jacket. See?
Oh, okay.
It's actually just because I'm cold. And I'm not an asshole.
Writers podcast. Debatable.
that
So
is debatable.
I can guarantee I'm not going to listen to any of this. So let's just move on.
So let's go ahead and
Goodness.
get rid of
he also
that.
didn't
Alright.
watch the movie either because he's just too good for us.
I did. I watched it. Fuck y'all. Watched it
I watched it today. I watched
with
it today.
both my eyes.
with
eyes
both of them?
wide open.
With eyes wide open.
Did you just Creed?
I just tweeted. Yeah.
You know, Creed's bluesy metal, don't you think, Ben?
Yeah,
No, they're more like
see-
twee pop, I
see
think.
they're tweedly dumb.
They're twee
Pop
metal.
metal?
I don't know
Yeah.
that I would call Creed.
Wait. What's twee pop?
Roger,
Twee pop is high pitched. What is it, Ben? It's
Oh,
high pitched
sounds
voices.
Terrible.
Yeah, I mean it's
Hmm.
just like high pitched female singers. I mean even
Female
Billie
singers.
Eilish has made some twee songs like
She's like
Ocean
low
Eyes.
pitch.
No,
Female
no, no, but
voice,
Ocean Eyes is like
Yeah. Is she like that Russian guy?
Oh, Vadik?
Oh my God.
no, that's not twee.
You know when that guy comes down the stairs, you know you're in for some shit.
Oh,
Like the way
when
he
that
just
guy
kinda
walks
comes
into
down,
a,
you're like,
a room.
This guy's awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
Unfortunately, that's all he was ever known for. You know.
Well,
Hmm.
and that
Never had
was
another big
that was an
hit.
old video too.
Oh God, it's more than 20 years old, I think.
Oh.
You know, he makes all his own costumes, and he makes the costumes for everybody.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I
It's weird.
believe it.
he looks like a toothbrush in that video.
Only in Russia
Yep.
or America or anywhere
And
else
then,
in the
yeah, and then
world.
20
Have
years
you guys seen this?
it gets released in America.
God, what did it? It's this weird band. So did you ever see that movie on
Nope.
It had that girl and had that man.
Hmm.
He's really
Yes.
too old to be still be doing it, and it's some music show, and they're in Finland or Norway.
Oh, Eurovision with
Yeah,
what's
Eurovision.
his face? Will
I didn't know
Ferrell.
that was
Wow.
real. I didn't know that was real. I didn't know Eurovision was real because it was so ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's
band I saw
huge.
this
Based
video
on a
the
true
day.
story, right?
Is
Or
it?
something
I
like
don't know.
that. Like there were two. Like those two people are real, right?
Let me make
Oh,
sure.
wow.
So like this, so a video like this type of band, like that they are, popped up in my feed. I thought it was a joke, but I guess this is like a real band. It's so far back, I don't know. But it was basically it was this Eurovision nonsense, and I was like, is this real? This has got to be a joke, and it was real. What were they
Yep.
called?
Europeans.
Those bastards.
Tell me that.
Weird.
Those crazy bastards. So are we gonna get this thing started now that
Sure.
we've started at a high there? All right. Hi, this is the We Like This podcast. Welcome. If you're in the chat, come say hi. I'd love to see those comments. I am monitoring the chat like at all times. Are you, Ben? Because I know
No.
you have it up in sometimes. Okay,
Should I
I'll
be?
be monitoring it So if you all want to say
Nice.
like
Someone
hi or
has
just
to.
like throw something in, any input, I'll read it out and I'll be looking. But yeah, this is the We Like This podcast. We are
I've been
doing
watching a lot of guitar videos.
wow. We watched The Nice Guys, which is
Wait,
Shane
Jaden, you
Black.
didn't post
What?
anything in the Discord
Oh
or-
yeah. Oh god, I
Come on,
suck.
man.
Hold on.
Jeez.
What is this? Can you do that?
Hold
Your
on,
main cast, you're
rockers
able to
who
do it.
partied way too hard. Scott Stapp right here.
Scott
'Cause
Stapp.
I've got the window
I
up
don't have
then,
the-
so
I don't have the link right now. Hold on, let me find the link.
yeah, just grab it from the YouTube
Damn it.
Okay,
if you
give me a
can.
second.
I can do it. Hold please.
Hold, please. Somebody didn't do their due diligence.
Dude, I look at my camera though. It's so blue. Like there's like this weird blue ring everywhere. I don't know. This camera sucks. It's like every week I'm having problems with this thing.
I actually,
I think you
thought
should keep
had
it.
like a little filter on it or something. I thought you were
I know, it
trying to
looks
impress
weird.
us with
No,
your
it's like-
Instagram filter.
It's that's what it looks like. I've got that teal and orange going on, but it's stupid.
But it's
It-
stupid.
it
It's
does
like
look so
totally
funny.
unnecessary and unwanted. So
Alright.
it's great.
Here.
All right, you got it. You're posting it in the
Can't
We
find
Live.
I still think that you do look better than us. If I'm just looking at all four of us at the same time.
It's because I got this sick depth of field thing going on. Although,
Yeah,
if
good
like
depth of
you,
field
if
going
you
on.
look over here by
Yeah.
the symbol in my kit, like it's kind of like
Mhm.
getting weird. And then over here, like see these like weird ghosting. And then my finger's out of focus.
Yeah. And it's gone.
Yeah.
But nobody has better fitting headphones than me, so suck it.
That's true.
They
It's
have
true.
molded
Can't
to your
fit
head.
Pinhead. I like that Daryl's got this kind of mood lighting coming from the left-hand side on the right.
That's
That's my
nice.
Christmas
Right.
tree. That's my
Oh, that's your Christmas tree?
Did you
Oh,
go with the
nice.
Darth
Actually,
Vader one
I
again?
actually de-Star Warsed it finally.
Oh,
Completely de-Star Warsed it.
De-Star
but the
Wars,
Star
yeah.
Wars
My
one was good.
my heart has been too broken by Star Wars. Disney Star Wars.
Liz.
Suck it.
Wow.
So
I mean, come
and
on.
you
I-
did, and you
Nope.
decided to be Star Wars your tree.
Mhm, especially
You had
after,
what? You have
Mhm.
like Kylo Ren on it or something?
I actually had a Darth Vader.
It's Darth Vader. Yeah. You think this guy
And
would
I
have
had
Kylo Ren
all-
on his Christmas
That's what
tree?
I'm saying. Like, why? I mean,
No.
just like
Oh,
OT
man.
represent, dude.
Mm-mm.
Well, I had a new tea on there. I had ornaments from the first of the last movies.
Mm.
What was it called?
Oh,
There
oh,
was
um,
Prequels?
I'm older and more tired than normal because I've been
oh, you
working
mean
a
A
lot.
New
hours.
Hope, right? A
Thank-
New Hope, the reboot.
Yes,
I
thank
think
For-
that's
yeah,
the
Force
reboot of New
Awakens.
Hope.
The second
Force
Hope.
Awakens.
Force
Right, like I
Awakens.
said, A New Hope, the reboot. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Hold
Yeah,
on,
same
I gotta
thing.
feed my dog. Keep talking.
All right. I'm actually making
So-
a Christmas twee this year. It's just gonna play high pitched pop music.
Oh yeah, right. Referencing back to.
Christmas twee.
So actually, you know what's funny? I've used that term a lot, and I just looked it up. I'm using it incorrectly, of course. Twee pop is a thing, but it's like it's basically, it sounds like it's kind of that music that the Beach Boys would go on to create later if they had. It's defined by being innocent pop music with boy and girl harmonics, apparently.
Okay, that's strange.
It's like completely different from what I thought. It's like I guess you could probably categorize some like musicals as twee pop, like Grease. Like Grease Lightning would probably be a fucking twee pop song based off of that description.
I don't like this.
This is way
This has gone
off.
too far. This has gone too far. Okay, let me segue back to our intro.
Oh yeah.
So this is the We Like This podcast. We're getting started finally. We did Shane Black's The Nice Guys that has Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling in it. 2016.
Yep.
It's rated R. I don't have any more facts for you. But this movie kind of came out and
Restricted.
yeah, it's let me find out why it's restricted. I'm just kidding. But it kind of flew under the radar. It didn't really pick up all that much in the box office as far as I know. I wanted to watch it because it's got Ryan Gosling in it, and I watched Ryan Gosling.
And Russell Crowe. I mean, wait, you're just gonna like gloss over him?
I mean, Russell Crowe. Yeah, I mean, he's all right, but
He's
he
not a
kinda looks
beautiful
like
man.
He's not
Not
dreamy
anymore.
like he used to be.
No,
Like,
yeah.
Ross
Not
Ryan
anymore.
Gosling, yeah.
Gosling, yeah, Argos. So
So Rosalind Goslin.
hmm I mean, it did well critically, though.
I had to fart, that's why I
But
went
it
with
like it barely made its money back. Nice head. So but
Yeah, I mean that sucks because like I
it's
thoroughly
good. It's
enjoyed
a
it.
it's a decent
this movie,
comedy,
dude.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, it's a
decent
great
comedy.
comedy.
Yeah.
I you know, like watching this whole movie again, I was like, man.
Oh no, what's that face?
Uh-oh.
Not because I farted.
Oh,
Well,
and
hold on.
every
All our
little like
fucking
part of the dialogue, I was
It's a very
not every
witty
little
film,
part,
yeah.
but I was like, man, this dialogue is so good. It's so funny.
the
and I
dialogue
was
is
laughing the whole time.
snappy. I love the dialogue. Hold on,
We
I'm
watched
the same
switching
movie?
around her.
Snappy dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Well, I don't actually. I guess I don't know. Maybe you didn't. If you don't like it, or maybe
Yeah,
you
if
didn't.
you I mean, clearly you must have watched like
No.
I don't know,
didn't
a
like it.
documentary on incels or something.
Right. I was gonna say yeah, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe we didn't watch
That
this.
gets 10 thumbs up. The documentary on incels.
The nice
That
guys.
shit's great.
I'm a
Oh.
nice guy.
Oh, I just got that.
Oh,
Come on, dude. I
Uh,
fucking busting out all the chops.
that was
That
good.
was good
That
stuff.
was good.
I
All right, we
appreciate
should
it.
just end
Fuck
it
this
now.
movie.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well,
okay. Well, Liz also did not like it, so we're gonna get into that. I want to hear your
She
opinion.
did
Oh,
good.
okay.
Good for her.
So
Yeah,
you've already got
She knows
someone
what
on
she's
your
talking
side.
about.
All right.
let's
Alright.
crack it
Okay.
open.
Yeah.
It opens with it opens with a ridiculous scene. I guess you can clearly tell it's like the 70s.
That's a great scene.
and and a fucking car just crashes.
Okay,
through
well,
this-
first off, some kid is walking down the hallway of his house and he's reading a porno magazine.
That's
And
true.
yeah, and then
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
person that he's looking at is named Misty Mountains, which if I ever get into porn, that's going to be my Lord of the Rings porn name is Misty Mountains. That's great.
Misty Mountains.
Yeah. And so he's looking at this, he's reading this porno mag and he's walking down the hall, and then out of nowhere, a car comes crashing through his entire house, and it's Misty Mountains. That's
That's
great.
a kid from Insidious too.
I don't care. That's funny.
So I thought it
Oh,
was like,
that's
is
funny.
this a haunted movie? Is this a ghost movie or
I
something?
didn't realize it was the same kid.
That kid with the annoying hair and
This,
go ahead.
this kid's been typecast already.
And
Mhm.
she's
Yeah.
fucking bleeding out in the car with her tits out. And
Yeah.
he's, and,
She's totally naked.
and what did she say? What her dying words are like?
How do you like my car, big boy, or something?
How do you
Yeah.
like my car, big boy?
Which is, as we find out later, important
Oh yeah.
because it
Uh,
turns out to be the name.
She's
of
trying to give him a clue.
it. Yeah.
This
Mhm.
kid.
This kid.
The
I would have
8-year-old.
been all, get a haircut, because the kid had a big
Oh yeah, dude, that kid.
It's
Well,
bad.
he had the 70s
coconut wig. Yes, it
Yeah,
was
it-
terrible.
Mhm.
He looked just like the kid from Stranger Things that gets kidnapped.
Oh, Will.
That kid had a helmet. That kid didn't even
Yeah.
know. This kid had a,
That was a
That thing
Thatch
could hit
coconut
like
wig.
bullets.
yeah, this kid had a thatched coconut wig.
But yeah, so that was. I mean, that's just a cold open that leads us into, I guess, a noir monologue from Russell Crowe, who is
Mhm.
hired help. I guess you could say. He just
He's
He's
Healy.
I've
Yeah.
tried. Yeah, he's basically a thug, right? He's like a
Mm-hmm.
strong arm, like kind of shakedown enforcer guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why I could describe it.
But he doesn't like ever seem to be hired by like gangs or anything like you would expect. It's like random people are just like, I'm gonna pay you money to beat that dude up. And
Yeah,
it's
which,
usually
if you
because-
think about it, makes sense, right? Like sometimes you just want to have this guy. Like,
What if
it's
you
not
don't
like
think
some
about it?
mob.
Well, then your
It's
entire
not always
argument falls
the
apart.
mob that wants people to get beaten up. Sometimes it's just Joe Schmo who's like, I
Sometimes
wanna
it's the
really
13-year-old
get this
girl.
guy beat
Exactly.
Well,
up."
yeah, I mean,
Kind
the
of a-
13-year-old girl isn't. It's usually like the 13-year-old girl's dad who's like, I want her to stop seeing this
Yeah.
20-year-old, so I'm just go beat that 20-year-old up. And of course, he seems like really happy to do it. It's almost like he's got like a moral compass when he's like, you like little girls, bop 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 bop. And so
Yeah. Well, he wants to feel useful, right? Like that's
yeah,
And the
we
story
learn
goes on.
later that he doesn't. He
likes
doesn't have a high
feeling-
opinion of himself, and he thinks that if only he could feel useful, if only he had a brain.
He has a high opinion of
Wow.
dinner.
He does.
Really
This
fatness.
is a fat Russell Crowe.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
this
Fat
is-
Russell Crowe giving us a monologue, which I like. I love the monologue because you're like, oh man, maybe he's kind of like a PI or something. No, he just beats people up.
he's just straight thug.
People beater.
Yeah.
And then we transition into yet another PI monologue style noir thing with Ryan Gosling, who is actually a PI and apparently is very
He's the worst.
very high class, but he's just a grifter. And he's like on the lookout for he's looking for some girl who's clearly dead. He's looking for Misty Mountain actually. and he's sent on this wild goose chase he thinks, but he's like, well, if I find this girl Amelia, maybe I can find Misty Mountain. There's a connection here. So he tries to bribe a bartender for some receipts, and that doesn't go over well. So instead he decides he's going to break into the bar. And this is my favorite scene in a comedy film, like one of the top 10 fucking scenes in a comedy film. Because at this point you're like, all right, like Ryan Gosling's gonna break into this place, whatever. And he punches the window open with like the towel wrapped around his hand.
But I like how he does it. He gets ready and he like wraps it around
Yeah.
and he's like looking at his hand and then he just like, and then
Which
like,
you've seen in movies a million times, right? So you kind of
Yeah.
have this
you
idea
people
of
do
how
it
it's
with
gonna
just their
go.
bare knuckles.
Right.
Oh my god! And then he punches through it and it cuts it. And he like looks at it and he's like, "That's a lot of blood." And he like
And
fucking
immediately
falls over.
abandons ship.
They hard cut to a fucking ambulance and they're like, "We're losing him." And Ryan Gosling's fucking seizing.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's fucking great, man.
I can tell you love this, Dad.
Oh, it was high top comedy.
Well, so at this point in the
Wow.
film, what were you thinking? What was your
I-
reaction?
my reaction
you're getting
was,
a lot of the same.
Oh my
beats,
god, I've seen
right?
this movie before.
Really?
It's called Kiss
Which-
Kiss Bang Bang
I
And
have
it's
not seen that
actually-
movie.
by Shane Black. And this is a movie that came out. It's the same style of movie. It had Robert Downey Jr. and it had Val Kilmer in it. And even though it's different, they're not PIs and stuff. It's the same style of movie. This kind of buddy cop type situation. Robert Downey Jr.'s character is an accident. He accidentally becomes an actor. He accidentally breaks into an audition and wins the audition. It's kind of one of those things. But that's what this movie felt like to me. And I was sitting there watching, going, man, this feels really familiar. And then I'm like, oh, it's Shane Black.
Mm.
Which I really like Shane Black. I think Shane Black's a very talented guy. He wrote one of my favorite movies, Lethal Weapon, which that movie works for me, but this movie just absolutely did not work for me. And I like Mr. Crow. I like the Gauze Man. All good stuff. I hate precocious kids. Can't stand them. There's no reason
like
for
the
this.
kid
I know
ones.
it's a movie, but I know this 13-year-old girl to be so world wise is always irritating to me. There's zero reason for it, and I just always is dumb to me. But yeah, it just didn't work, and neither did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Same thing. That style of comedy didn't work for me. So I sat watching this whole thing stone faced.
That's
That is-
amazing.
Wow.
That is
That's actually
yeah,
outrageous,
wow.
man, dude. I was
And I went
laughing
into
the
it
whole
wanting to
time.
like it because of
No,
because of
let me ask you
what's
this:
in it.
did you look up
The
and see if it
70s
was
was-
Shane Black before you finished the movie? Or
I didn't know
or-
anything about it. I didn't know anything about the movie. It started in the 70s. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I remember having smog alerts. I'm that old.
Yeah, yeah. It talks about the
Yeah.
air quality a lot
And all that stuff.
think it's
So I
quite
really wanted to like it, and then as it went on and on and on, I'm like, okay, well, this is reverse Abbott and Costello in a way, where the skinny guy is comic relief, which was Gosling. Maybe this was the purpose of it, and the fat guy's the straight man, which is what would I don't know. It totally just did. It fell completely flat for me. It's weird. And I wanted to like it. Right when it started, I'm like, oh, cool, all the 70s vibe. They captured it very well. And then it just, as it went along and along and along, I just, nothing.
That's
Didn't do
amazing to
anything
me. Are there witty movies that have rapid fire dialogue that you enjoy? Or is that style
Probably
of comedy
Blade Runner.
something you just don't like?
Just kidding.
Blade Runner is not
Yeah,
a
Blade Runner.
comedy.
You know how fast firing that dialogue is in Blade Runner.
Funniest
Yeah, you know,
movie.
Probably Blade
Funniest
Runner.
movie.
Probably my number one. No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I probably don't like this style. It's-
Interesting.
I like
Yeah.
that. Like the dialogue is snappy. Like it's
That's
good.
why it makes me laugh so much. Like
Yeah.
all I did for notes for this movie was write down dialogue.
yeah.
that
I was
loved,
going to, but
'cause
yeah.
I thought it was so
Yeah.
hilarious, and I wrote down too much of it, so I'm not going to share it all. with you, 'cause
hilarious.
I ended up realizing that, like, I mean, I could give you a lot of examples, but you know,
I just, and I know, like I said, I know what was, it just, how was that?
You know, it's
bird
dry
hit my window
humor.
or something. It just,
you know?
and I love dry humor too. It just didn't work for me. I don't know. I
Hmm.
can't explain it. It just wasn't funny.
Man,
And the whole premise didn't work. And Misty Mountain's part was good, but
you
Wonder
like
why.
But what I like,
well, because she looked like she had a good personality.
mm,
Oh, of course.
She looked like a nice
she did
gal.
Look like a keeper.
She looked like she loves her mother.
Her
Looks
grandma.
like she has a good
actually.
relationship with her father. So yeah, that's why.
yeah,
Her grandmother.
Someone that's
Her
looking
entire
for her.
family.
So sorry,
Uh,
go ahead, and I'll just sit here quietly, so I don't shit on your movie anymore. But it just didn't
You
work. for me.
have to. This is the whole point of the podcast. We do this every episode.
What's that?
Argue.
Well, I mean, even yes,
I
we
don't
do.
mean to be disagreeable, but if I feel this way, I'm going to express that.
I think at least one person doesn't like the movie pretty much almost all the time. It's very rare that all
Yeah, I
four
think
of us
It's,
like the
it's
movie.
usually me.
Someone definitely
but-
likes it the least.
It's
Sometimes
been
I've
me
been the
quite a
guy
few
who doesn't
times,
like the
yeah.
movie very much. Like
Mhm.
when we were doing all those time travel movies, there was a few that I was like, eh.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I didn't like the bandage head guy. So
I
you're
love
didn't
good.
like
Bandage
that
Head
one
Guy
either.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
was
love
dumb.
that
It was
movie.
dumb
Yeah,
movie.
I love that movie. I think it's
Dumb
great.
movie.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I mean we're starting to get a little bit more into the mystery that's going on. So I mean this is at the point where I think Russell Crowe basically gets jumped by this dude. I don't think they really give him a name, right? He
Well,
just
before that, actually, Russell Crowe gets hired to stop Ryan Gosling from
Oh, yeah,
just
you're
getting him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how our two characters meet. Is that Russell Crowe just fucking shows
Fucking
up
bamboozled him.
Yeah, shows up to March's house. March Holland, who is Ryan Gosling, and is like delivery. And then we learn how Russell Crowe does his whole thing, which is he like comes in very professionally, kicks the guy's ass, and it's like, okay, have a nice day. You're gonna not do that thing I told you, right? Like, several times Ryan Gosling tries to defend himself, and he just every single time fails.
Yeah.
I like that part
Mis-
where he's got him on the ground, and he's like basically just telling him like, okay, when you go to your doctor, just let him know that I fractured your ulna. It's like,
Oh yeah, no.
and he's like, no,
rotary
no,
no,
He's like-
no, snap, no.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
But yeah, I mean, not long after that, Russell Crowe eventually has two like thugs break in on him, and that's, I mean, honestly, I love that scene just because it really demonstrates how seriously he takes the art history of thugging. When they're like, when he starts throwing his fish out of the tank at Russell Crowe, and
Yeah,
Russell Crowe's like,
that's-
seriously, man.
Russell Crowe's like critiquing his thuggery. Like,
yeah.
hey man, like
He's like, you
this
didn't
is
come
not
in
how
here
we
to
do things."
throw fish at me.
Yeah.
Like this is not going according to plan.
I wouldn't give you information anyways, but the main reason I would give you information is because you're a moron.
right.
So again, he weasels his way out of that. One of the guys shoots some random bystander in the room next door, or the apartment next door, which is actually one of the reasons that kind of thing is what I love about this movie. Its style is that like even though it is snappy and it's like kind of a funny world that everybody lives in, it seems like people make mistakes constantly, like whether they're the good guys or the bad guys. They're like definitely all blundering all the time, and in this case he shoots just some random girl. We don't hear anything about it. It's not like they don't make a big deal out of the neighbor dying. They're just like, oh yeah, he shot this girl through the window, all right, moving on.
And then you
They
never see
obviously
it.
run away.
Yeah.
The movie does that constantly. There's a bunch of scenes that are just like very real consequences occur based off of very like happenstance moments that just kind of like, all right, let's keep going. Let's keep happening.
Right.
Which I really appreciate about the film. But ultimately Russell Crowe comes back to Ryan Gosling after kicking his ass.
At
Ryan
his
Gosling-
daughter's birthday party.
Mhm.
It's not his birthday party at a bowling alley. And he
Yeah.
catches him literally with his pants down. Ryan Gosling's in the bathroom and he pulls a gun on him, but he's got like a
That's
magazine.
one of like Ben,
Well,
when you
before
talk about
that-
this is like one of my favorite like comedy scenes in movies, like that bathroom stall scene where he's like trying to wrestle to keep the door open.
Oh, he like,
Keeps,
yeah.
like falling and he drops the cigarette. It's that like I don't usually like slapstick, but if slapstick's done well and you have the right guy, like I thought that was really funny.
Well, I think it
He's
worked
like-
because it's not a slapstick movie, so you have this one small moment in it where it's
Yeah,
just
a
kind of
few little
ridiculous, and
slapstick
you're just like,
things in
okay,
there.
this is good. I can
Yeah,
agree with
Yeah,
you
there are
about it.
definitely a
They sync it
couple
up.
slapstick moments, but
No. Well, okay, before this scene though, my favorite
good,
line
really
of
good.
dialogue in the entire movie is there's a bunch of kids at the party clamoring around Ryan Gosling's character, and like they're yelling and screaming, and he's like, shut up, Jesus Christ. And then this one girl's like, you just took the Lord's name in vain. And he's like, no, I didn't, Janet. And like, he's just like yelling at this 14-year-old girl. It's
He's
so
calling
good.
her Janet the whole movie, and her name's
Yeah.
Jessica.
Right. Oh my god.
I love
Yeah,
that.
actually, that speaks to the precociousness of at least his own daughter. There's a couple scenes where he's parenting her, but like the way he parents her is very off kilter. She keeps saying "and stuff." That's like the repeated beat, and he keeps telling her to stop saying "and stuff." But the thing, she's like making commentary about like very adult things. She's like, "There's a bunch of whores here and stuff," and he's like, "Don't say "and stuff." Just say there's a bunch of whores here to his 13-year-old, which it just gets me. It just cracks me up. It makes me recognize why somebody growing up with this fucking shitty PI
Alcoholic
might be
dad.
more precocious than your average 13-year-old.
That and she drives
but-
him everywhere.
Oh yeah, so he does make him
Yeah.
drive him everywhere because he's an alcoholic too. So yeah, I mean Russell Crowe basically comes and he has a proposition after the whole bathroom scene where Ryan Gosling's literally pantsless trying to boss him around with a gun. They go and sit down at a table and talk about Amelia. And Russell Crowe's like, I need you to help me find Amelia, even though Ryan Gosling literally just got his freaking ulna broken by Russell Crowe for looking for her in the first place. So a big reversal of what's going to happen, and now we realize that these two have to work together to find this girl. And Ryan Gosling, being super greedy, is now trying to get paid by both the grandmother who initially hired him and Russell Crowe as well.
Yeah.
So I guess they catch their first big break with finding out. Oh well, they go to that protest.
They
that
go to the
Amelia-
protest, dude. We got to talk
Mhm.
about the protest. I think that's the first time I really laughed hard when they're talking about like, well, they're all dead.
They're all dead, man.
They're all dead,
Wait,
man.
that actually reminded me of a little bit of shit. What's Shaun of the Dead?
Nick Frost.
Edgar Wright?
Edgar Wright's. It reminded me of some scenes that Edgar Wright has come up with, particularly in Hot Fuzz, where
Yeah.
they're all just like, that's definitely the dry humor side of things, where they're like, no, fucking talk to us. Amelia, where are you? They're dead, man. Can't you see we're dead? Why can you tell these people to fucking talk to us? Dude, they're all dead, man. What do you want me to do?
And then he accidentally kicks one of them as he's walking down, and they're like,
Yeah, he steps on her
"Ow!"
hands.
And Ryan Gosling's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were dead."
He
I
plays
thought that
it
entire
really well,
scene
too.
did
Yeah.
a really good job of like calling back to like the initial like these people are just dead on the stairs.
Yeah.
They did that pretty well.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, it
really
also
good.
serves a purpose. I mean, they do a lot of explaining in the interactions that they have that like this is a movie about like air pollution basically, and like that keeps coming up over and over again with the smuggler, with the
Mhm.
now with this protest. I think there's something else that happened too.
Birds can't breathe.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
it's like, how did you die if you have the gas mask? Did it help you, huh? God, dude.
I
eventually-
want to say really quick, Annalise is in the chat, and she's making fun of your glasses, Dad.
Oh, well, I got nothing.
Okay, perfect.
I
Hi,
have
Annalise.
nothing snappy back. I'm just sitting here laughing internally at
Ah.
the dialogue.
Yes,
of the
yes, of course.
movie.
Oh right, yes. I think my favorite part of this is just watching Daryl squeam.
It's just
I like the end credits. Those were good.
yeah,
Pretty funny.
yeah.
It wasn't that bad. It just wasn't that good.
It was an entertaining film, but
It's
okay.
no
So at this point,
Mandalorian.
okay. Anyways, so at this point, like they're trying to figure out where Amelia is still, and so they're like, anybody want to make $20? And then this dude lying on the ground is like, and it like
Who's been dead?
gets out of the
Okay.
protest to make $20.
Chat.
And yeah, so he
Chet,
takes him
fucking
to.
Chet.
Mhm. So he takes him to the house in this random neighborhood that burned down 3 days ago. And this is also another good like bout of dialogue with that kid that comes by on his bike. So basically the house burned down. Obviously somebody torched it to kill this dude who makes porno films, and Amelia is connected to it. And so this kid comes by, and they're talking to the kid, and they're trying to figure out more information. But it's great that line where he's like, offered to show my dick because I got a big dick, and he's like
got a big dick.
14.
Oh man. Yeah, that was great. I
Yeah.
mean, that's exactly as shitty as some of my friends were at 14. You know, like I thought that was
Strangers.
fucking hilarious. And then
Yeah.
it's like they gave him $20 so that he would tell them who else was involved
yeah.
with the film and like what
Yeah.
the film was called and stuff. And then he's like, "You want to see my dick?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to see your fucking dick."
And he's
It's
like,
I'm not-
yeah, how about $20? He's like, I already gave you. Why am I even talking to him?
why am I even arguing with
What
you?
am I saying?
God, it's amazing. And that kid fucks off, and they basically learn that there's going to be a party where Amelia might be present. And so they end up basically going to this party, and this is where Holly tries to join them. She hides in the trunk, and great moment. Again, I think this is like there's a lot of things that kind of subvert, I guess, the regular buddy cop tropes, which I really like. But he opens his Ryan Gosling opens his trunk after parking and sees her in the trunk, and then he's like, "No," and just closes the trunk on her.
Close it on her.
He tries to get the
Nope.
valet to take the car, and the valet's like, "No, man, I
Give
can't."
no fucks. He gives no fucks. Yeah.
So she does eventually. So she does force herself into the party. Very very Jackie Chan adventures with Jade following Jackie on one of his many.
Wow,
adventures.
throwback to
What does
the
that even mean?
early
What does
2000s.
that even mean?
That's the Jackie Chan animated cartoon that was on Cartoon Network.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Come on,
Jackie
we all
Chan
watched
And
he
he
that.
had a
Throwback.
13-year-old
Great show.
daughter
Oh my
that followed
god.
him into 70s drug parties.
And 70s
sort
like
of.
porno drug party.
Yeah.
It's the thing from like a lot of kids shows, but Jackie Chan Adventures is the one I think of because Jackie has the niece, and then the niece is like the character that we kind of follow, and so she of course is always getting in on his hijinks, even though he's trying to get her to stay home. It's the exact same.
She's the Penny from Inspector Gadget.
There you go. See,
Mm.
Hey.
there you go. We go a
we're
little
getting-
further
we're-
back in time.
Yeah, we're
to-
getting all these
When Daryl-
generations
yeah.
in here. Here we
when
go.
Daryl was
yeah.
in his 20s.
Dude, I was in my
Yeah.
teen. I was in my teens.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
It was that and DuckTales.
Gadget.
Bam. Derek used to watch
Ooh.
it, my little brother.
Nice.
And then I
DuckTales is
watched
good.
it too because
I mean,
Yeah.
DuckTales is a good
DuckTales.
show, man.
I mean, it's not a bad
DuckTales is
show.
good. You can't go wrong with DuckTales.
Yeah.
Diving into
Wrong.
gold.
go wrong with DuckTales.
Yeah.
Always a good time.
Scrooge, man, what a jerk. So
Right?
all three of them go into the party. That's where she sees the whores and says, "There's whores and stuff here." I'm saying stuff. Just
He's
Just
like,
say
just
there's
say there are
whores here.
whores here. It's like,
that's
that's it. That's
Uh,
all he has to tell his daughter.
on their way into this clearly like crazy party. They walk
He's not
in.
even denying that there's whores here. He's just like, don't say whores and stuff. There's
God.
just whores here.
And then they go into this party. Russell Crowe's like trying to be coy. I love that line. Oh, looks like Mary and Jane are here. Like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Ryan Gosling's
Mhm.
just what? Like Mary Jane, marijuana, reefer. It smell. I can smell reefer. There. Clearly, people are smoking here. It's like, oh, my sense of smell doesn't work. Just
Yeah. That was a
I-
funny little exchange because I had a similar exchange the same day that I watched it. Like, as he says, "Oh, I can't smell," and Russell Crowe's like, "So you can't smell, and you're a detective." And Ryan Gosling's like, that's offensive.
But how often does smelling come into detective work?
I didn't get that joke. Yeah.
You do need to detect things
With your nose.
with all of your senses, right?
You got a point.
The PI is the bloodhound of the human world. So
Mm.
let's have a good
Mhm.
smell.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it was just. It wasn't the thing about that was it doesn't really serve the plot initially. It's not like an important thing. It's just a throwaway moment. You're like, okay, this is just a little bit of like silly banter that they threw in here. But you do find out later that him not having a sense of smell is actually what got his wife killed.
Yeah, and his house
and-
burned down.
Yeah, and ultimately led to his current circumstances, probably to the fact that he's an alcoholic as well. They kind of imply that too. So it's such a throwaway, like funny moment that actually has like kind of a serious background to it, which is really interesting. They do that a couple of times. But you know, fast forward a little bit, Holly is snuck into the party. She's looking for Amelia. She's found this other porn actress who's showing her a movie. Russell Crowe stumbles upon her.
And he thinks it's the dude who's showing the movie to this little girl, and he immediately smashes his face into the table.
That part
Breaks
was-
the glass.
Yeah.
I like
And
that
the girl that scene was really funny. Then of course the porn actress is like, no, sit down, watch it with us. That's me. I'm in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, Ryan Gosling is getting fucked up on drinking and like swimming in the pool after the mermaid girl.
It's got to interview those mermaids, man.
Mhm.
God, he gets out of the water and he starts talking to some other girl. He really doesn't even. He's just
Pocahontas.
flirting with her at this point. Yeah, it's just the girl with a headdress on.
I love
Yeah.
that part.
He's like, no, I'm a great actor. Watch, like, aim a gun at me, shoot me, fucking shoot me. It's just like bang. They do it a couple times. He fucking slips over the edge of the balcony, tumbles down the hill.
He falls like an entire like story into
Yeah, he
onto
falls
a hill.
Like way the hell. down
Yeah,
there.
and then tumbles down this hill, and then like loses his gun and stuff in the underbrush.
Right.
And then he like
There's-
looks back
I've
up
done
to
that
the where the girl is, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And then just like goes away. She just like goes back to the party, like
Wouldn't
doesn't
you
care about this
totally
guy.
do that?
He's like, I'm
dude,
not
I'd be
here to
like,
hurt- he's drunk.
if
He's
I
like,
was
"I'm not
that
here to hurt
person,
you."
if I was any person at that party, and some dude just took a backflip off of a railing on the second floor and was fine, I'd be like, I don't want to be around that person anymore. I'm gonna go. And so I would absolutely do the same thing. So
Why
was
would you want not be a
amazing.
run around backflip balcony guy?
I mean, it depends on how
That
drunk
would
I
be
was.
my
Kind
new-
of
too.
badass.
I
that
would
guy
not
would
want
be
to.
my
I
new
would
best
not want to
friend.
hang out with that person.
I would
Because
I
you
would
know who
jump
that
off
person
and
is?
Hang out with him.
I would have to hang out with that person because I'd be taking them home because it would be Ben.
Ben's
So
balcony guy.
Ah, dang.
Ben
I
is
would
balcony
I would definitely tumble over a balcony.
Ben's been
I've
balcony
known
guy.
a few balcony guys.
Yeah.
I knew an almost balcony guy.
Wait,
There was a
how are you
balcony
almost a
guy
balcony
at
guy?
Danon's apartment once.
Oh
Oh,
my
yeah,
god,
Almost
and
broke the
yeah.
whole
me.
balcony.
He almost took the entire balcony with him. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah, there's
terrifying.
balcony guys.
It was his
Yeah, there's
birthday.
balcony guys
It's
out
fine.
there.
So,
exactly.
God, that was terrifying.
You know what? If that
Jesus.
guy
No.
took a tumble, I might do the Pocahontas trick. And,
You had every right to. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So a couple things happen when he takes that tumble down the hill. He's constantly stumbling into it. He loses his gun, then he looks up and he sees Amelia. He just doesn't recognize her because it's dark and he's drunk. And he's like, no, don't be afraid. I just dropped my gun. And she's like, all right, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And so she runs off. And Ryan Gosling finds his gun, sits down on a tree, goes to light a cigarette, flips open his lighter, and lo and behold, the lighter just unveils another dead guy up against the tree. And so he's freaking the fuck out. At this point, Russell Crowe has found him. He's so good. It's like,
Yeah,
how
he
did you get
flags
down
him down.
there? What are you doing? Yeah, he's flagging him down. There's a body down. You gotta get the fuck down here. It's like, did you fall down there?
Fun fact,
He
that's
tries to-
Robert Downey Jr. That body is Robert Downey Jr.
Is it
Oh.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, look at that kiss kiss bang bang connection.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Yeah.
fun.
Mhm.
Is
That-
Val Kilmer also in this movie?
Yeah.
he's
secret-
drunk and
he's a
passed out in the
secret character.
background. And he wasn't supposed to be in the movie. He was already just there.
So yeah, I mean they find this body and then they go back upstairs. They're arguing with each other because Ryan Gosling is soaking wet, has fallen down a hill, is drunk off his ass. And they try to get rid of the body at first.
Dude,
That scene is
they toss
amazing.
they toss the body. That's another scene that made me laugh a lot. They're like
They tossed
there's
his
this whole
body.
build
over
up
the
to them
fence.
tossing over this fence, and they think below on the other side of that fence is more hill or whatever. And
I don't
you,
even
you don't really
understand
know why
why-
they think that.
The body was already gotten rid of. I so don't understand that part. It was already gotten rid of next to the tree it was sitting.
It's
in.
Yeah, because who else is
funny.
going to go down there?
So let's
Yeah.
let's take it and carry it
Yeah,
30
that's a good
feet
point.
away and throw it over. And so I'm like, why are they?
That is a
doing
good point. That is a good point. But the joke is
Yeah.
great because they throw it
The
onto
joke's
a dinner party. Everybody freaks out and runs
Over
away.
On the other
Yeah,
side
yeah.
of the fence, there's a whole dinner party. The body just slams right on the table.
God.
And then
They
they just
know-
look at each
and then
other and
they
just like
only-
run.
Again, Ben, going back to that, like sometimes there's serious consequences, and they show it for a second. and
Sorry,
then
what
just
was that
move
word,
on.
Jeremy?
Serious consequences.
There we go. It sounded like you
I
said
said before.
consequences.
Spiritual consequences.
Hey, Gina.
Curious
Gina's in the chat.
consequences. Hi, Gina.
Is that the smart girl that doesn't like this movie either? Or is it a different one?
No, that's Liz.
I think that's Liz.
Liz. Okay.
We played Among Us with Gina last week.
Was that earring girl? Who was the? Remember the girl wearing the earrings and they were super jangly, and it sounded like someone was counting their change the whole time.
I think
What?
so.
Were you drunk? How drunk were you?
Yeah. It was Thanksgiving. Yeah, I was drunk.
There's a picture of it in the Discord. She took her earrings off because they're so fucking jangly. Because I asked her, who's counting change?
Okay, yeah. Gina is earring girl.
Yeah.
She is confirmed.
And she was
Angle
earring
earring
girl.
girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then she
man.
took them off, and they were fish lures. I'm not shitting you. She took a picture of them, and I'm like, you could catch a largemouth bass with those fucking earrings.
Just whoosh, with your earrings.
I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
Oh my god, yeah, they are pretty fish lury.
See?
Yeah.
Quite jangly.
Should I put it in the here? That's what they
Yeah,
look
check
like.
the-
Fish lure earrings.
God.
I'm adding you, Gina, sorry.
Goodness.
okay.
Well, I
You're
mean,
thoroughly outed now, Gina. Nowhere to hide.
well, you're all gonna feel pretty stupid when she comes home with a largemouth bass, and we're all going home.
Right?
Shit, I'm hungry too.
Got cooking up on the
Yeah.
grill.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. Thought you were a delicious bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so freaking they throw this body over the fence. They run away. They go back to the party. They're still arguing. And then they find out that Holly has been kidnapped, basically. She's still looking for Amelia. Some random girl's like, "Oh, you're looking for Amelia? What are you, her sister or whatever? All right, come with me. I'll show you where Amelia is." And Holly's like, "Oh my God, yeah, dude, I'm gonna solve everything. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna be a PI just like my dad." She gets into the car, and lo and behold, it's the freaking thug that
It's Blueface.
It's
Blue
Blueface,
face.
the thug that was that was threatening Russell Crowe earlier, and then threw his fish at him.
Right.
And so, so this guy's like threatening Holly, asking her what she knows. She doesn't know anything. But then he sees Amelia, and his whole thing apparently is to kill her. He's a hired hand that's got to kill her. So he's aiming the gun. Holly slams the door in his hand. Amelia sees, runs away. It starts causing pandemonium at the party, which leads to the other thug going into the party to fight Russell Crowe, which is great. Who is that? Who is that actor, by the way? That
That's
guy's-
I
David Keith. Or
yeah,
maybe
I
or
knew
Keith.
his
One of the two.
Keith
voice.
David?
There's an actor named David Keith. I think he maybe is the one that blew his brains out. I think that's Keith David then. Yeah, it's Keith David.
That's Keith David.
he was in the thing as the Childs.
yeah.
Childs.
Yeah.
Keith David
Uh,
is older guy who's Eddie Harris, that's Keith David.
Yeah, he voices Spawn in the HBO
Oh, does he?
animated series. I
He
don't know if
voices
you
a lot
guys
of
like
characters.
Spawn.
Isn't he also?
But,
He's also the.
That's how
Admiral
I knew him.
in Mass Effect, right?
He's the Arbiter.
I
in
think he's a
Halo.
big voice actor. I think he's got a
Robert-
ton of.
Yeah,
Ton
he's
of voice
also in
acting.
He's David Anderson in
what's
Mass
that
Effect.
Darren?
Yeah.
What's that
Yeah.
Darren Aronofsky movie about drug abuse? He's in that.
Oh my God.
Oh,
That's
Requiem
he's in
for a
Requiem.
Dream.
Yeah, he's in Requiem for
Oh,
a Dream.
yeah.
He says ass to ass.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Oh man, what a scene that is.
All coming back to me now.
All coming back.
It's all coming
mean, I-
full circle.
I tried to, forget everything about that movie after I watched it.
Yeah,
I
that's
still haven't
not
seen that
something you
movie.
Pull out. It's really good, but it's,
It's not a party
something you
movie?
Pull out. It's not a Thanksgiving movie. Let's put it that way.
Mm,
You don't,
mm.
No.
you don't bust it out every year. So
That's
No.
yeah. Honestly, that's one of those movies that you really
maybe it is.
shouldn't even watch with somebody else. I don't think. Like it's just.
I've seen it once. It's great, but I was good. Kind of.
Almost everyone I've talked to, including myself, has only seen it once.
You've talked to
Yeah.
yourself?
But yeah,
You had like a
Whatever.
heart to heart with it. Like
up.
Jeremy,
Yeah.
Jeremy, we can't.
you don't know my life.
One and done.
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know. Jeremy suggested this movie to himself. In fact.
Yeah, Shadow. I did this whole podcast
Right?
already with myself.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
man, that's
4 of
great.
you.
Yeah,
yeah, like
practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just had a 10-second delay on each one.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
It's a really good point you bring up, Jeremy. Thanks, Jeremy. So anyways,
Well, one of my Jeremys didn't like this movie too, so I could substitute.
And he was bald, which is pretty
The
fascinating.
bald Jeremy.
Yeah, yeah.
man, can I watch that podcast? Way more entertaining.
I know. I want to watch that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
would watch that. Yeah. The
Yeah,
four
if you,
Jeremys.
if you go to our Patreon, we'll post that.
Yeah, that's our other sister podcast. Jeremy likes this.
Yeah. 3 Jeremys and a bald Jeremy, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh
Right,
my
right.
god, we should really get on that. That's great.
I'll make that a goal. It's one more thing I have to produce.
It's perfect.
great fight scene with ass to ass Keith or David.
I was gonna say, yeah, the fight scenes in this movie are pretty good for a comedy. You know, it's like
Yeah, I mean, I
actually
think,
pretty
you
fun
know,
to watch.
Well,
the
Shane
director of
Black
Lethal
is-
weapon, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's used to directing action films, so
Yeah.
it's not out of place. It's not out of place. So
I mean, I think it just lends itself to the movie.
He's the
'cause it-
first. He's the first guy to get killed in Predator too.
Keith David.
This guy, Keith David.
No, it's Shane Black. Shane
Oh.
Black was
Mhm.
the guy with the big glasses in Predator, and he gets killed first.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
mhm.
So
7.4 IMDb rating.
it's
This movie?
not. It's a
Yeah.
decent film.
yeah.
Got the,
So they get into this fight. He like threatens Keith David. He tells him what does he tell him? He's like, where
he
you get
says, "What?" He's like,
Oh yeah, he's
I
like,
don't. Oh, he's like, if you get up, I'm gonna shoot you in the dick.
Oh my god, I swear to God, I'm gonna shoot you in your dick.
He's like, I'm never gonna see you again. I'm gonna get out of here. And Russell Crowe's like, well, okay, where are you gonna go? Like while pointing a gun to his head, he's like, okay, where are you gonna go? And he's like, Michigan. Russell Crowe's like, Michigan's good. Tosses the gun back in the jacuzzi.
God.
Liz says those are fake reviews.
Fake reviews.
IMDb's been
Good ones?
hacked. Yeah,
Yeah.
the good reviews. Yeah. Okay, Liz, let me
uh,
know why you didn't like this movie. I'm
Yeah,
interested.
Let us
Yeah.
know.
I wanna know.
And we'll answer. But yeah. So meanwhile, Russell Crowe goes back. Ryan Gosling tells him like, "Oh no, my daughter's been kidnapped. We got to go after her." They're running. I forget exactly what this sequence of events was, but basically the guy that is kidnapped, Holly, chases down Amelia, and then they get into some confrontation in the street. Just the 3 of them, and then Blueface is pointing a gun at Amelia and he's ready to kill her.
Yeah.
And this fucking van just out of nowhere careens directly into him, completely destroys him. The van slams on its brakes. Like the guy opens the door, Amelia runs towards the van. The guy pokes his head out and says, "Oh shit!" Slams the door and just
Fuck out of there
keeps
immediately.
fucking going.
That's another one of those things where you thought someone in that van was going to be important because they just killed that bad guy. You're like, oh, they're going to get out of the car.
Yeah, I thought so
or
too.
something like that.
I thought there were gonna
No,
be like more
just-
bad guys.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
And then the van just drives off.
Mhm.
That was another one
Oh,
of those
yeah.
things for me. I thought that was going to be like someone important or somehow that was going to relate to the story. No, just hits and run.
Yeah, and arguably it is like he's just writing himself out of a hole kind of thing.
Yeah.
It could have very easily have been Russell Crowe and
Well,
Ryan Gosling. That
Yeah,
did
because
try
Ryan
to-
Gosling was in a car driving over there. Could have easily just been him.
Yeah, gets
Right.
shot at, immediately wrecks the thing.
Right, but instead
Yeah.
Russell Crowe gets there. I think at this point they lose Amelia, don't they?
Yes, the loser again. Yeah.
Yeah, she gets away. But Russell Crowe is, kneeling down, and then he tells Holly to go get help or something, and then he just fucking strangles Blueface while he's dying and gasping for air. And a very
Yeah. That was actually like, it's funny because when she gets back, you kind of know that she knows that he just killed that guy. And she's like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened to him? And Russell Crowe's like, yeah, he just didn't make it. And that's like a big thing later in the movie that actually was kind of this weird, like, emotional interruption in this otherwise like funny movie where she's like,
Mhm.
I know we're jumping ahead, but that whole scene where she's like, you didn't really kill that guy, did you? And he just is like, no.
No,
My
totally
favorite
not.
part
No,
was the funny
course not.
part. You know, this is a funny observation. This is a funny observation. And this is my bias as a father, but it really the movie turned the movie off for me too, where I'm like, just take that fucking kid home. It really bothered me. It's so stupid, but I'm like, take your daughter home. It was really pissing me off that he wouldn't just get her out of all these horrible situations. I know it's dumb, but the dad in me was really irritated by it, especially at the party. I'm like, what is this 13-year-old girl doing at this party? And no one, and Russell Crowe's like, hey, how's it going? Oh, watching a porn, huh? Somebody should have been the father in this goddamn movie and took that kid home, and don't put her in a cab. Don't put her in the trunk. Take her home.
But that's
Right.
not
Yeah.
funny,
It
Dad.
really fucking is.
Well,
not
they're
funny.
I
dead.
know. And it's
They're
stupid
total
to feel this way.
deadbeats, too.
It's stupid to feel this way. I realize it because it's a movie, but it really was. It was
Mhm.
fucking irritating me the whole time.
That's
Well,
funny
I
because
mean,
like
And I agree with that. I think the only thing that the movie uses to as like a defense, because that would I thought that too, is that this guy Ryan
that
Gosling
it's a
is
movie,
he's an established
No.
deadbeat, and
It has
I know
nothing
that.
to
I
do with
know
it
all
being
that.
a movie. He's a piece of shit.
he's
We
a
know
total
he's a
piece of
bad
shit
dad.
who
Like,
would do
it's
that. You know,
It's okay to hate him for being a bad dad. It's okay
It totally
to hate
fits the
Ryan
character.
Gosling
It
in the
just
movie, yeah.
irritated me to the point I couldn't even enjoy the movie even if I wanted to.
Mm.
Because it fucking irritated me so much.
yeah.
well, so Liz came in and she says it was the comedy was too forced. She says tried to be
Thank you.
funny. I actually don't like the precocious child scenes either at all.
Thank
So
Man,
you.
it's so funny because I feel like I mean she is precocious, but I thought she was very realistically precocious. She wasn't like, oh, I know Hemingway and all this
You
stuff.
don't know any 13-year-olds.
Dude, she was struggling. First of all, she's reading out loud to herself in the park and she's struggling to read the words. Second of all, she has this really childish idea of morality that she keeps trying to push onto Russell Crowe throughout the entire film. And third of all, Russell Crowe does act like a father figure for her because he immediately bashes that dude's face in, and then he gets
Yeah.
distracted by
Yeah.
his search for the dad because he's going to find him to say you got to take care of your child. That's why he's on the lookout for Ryan Gosling in the first place. So I think logically, the pieces do fall into place there. Even though, yes, Ryan Gosling's a piece of shit. Yes, she is a precocious child, but like,
She's
I don't
precocious.
think that
she's also extremely ignorant too, because you can tell that the movie is trying to let you know when she asks Russell Crowe, like, "Hey, you didn't really do that, right?" and he lies to her, you can tell that she believes him.
See,
Right.
that's funny because, like, for me, that's the movie going, oh shit, we better not make her so precocious. Because I mean, she's beyond precocious. She is world wise. You know,
in what ways?
in the way she just navigates the whole film. The
But
fact
I
that
think
she-
it's the opposite of being worldwide.
dude,
when
you
she
see her
just
walking
so
around. She was
believes him.
walking around the party as if she owned the fucking place.
Yeah, but that's ignorance.
And
That's not-
working it and trying to find Amelia and talking to people. I mean,
And where does it enter? That was stupid because it ends
Yeah.
up with her almost getting killed.
and then she gets him way
I know.
over her head.
Like
I'm just
any,
telling
you
you what
know-
it felt like to me. It just what it felt like to me. It just felt like
Mhm.
the whole time this kid would be like, oh, like I said, even smart 13-year-olds are not world weary like this. It's just, and I know these are dumb things to say because it's a movie, but it didn't work for me. So these things stood out to me.
It's
You know what I mean?
interesting because
Right.
this is like, I mean,
So Liz, these are dumb things because it's just a movie. You heard it here first.
No,
So your
I
complaints are
realize that
invalid.
I realize that I know, right? If you enjoy it, then you won't see these things. But because like I talk about all the time, it's like if it doesn't work for you, then you'll nitpick and you see all this stuff that bothers you about it because you're not
Mhm.
watching the movie, which is what I
Mhm.
wasn't
yeah,
doing.
it is. Yeah, I mean, it's
because it did all the comedy felt so forced. It felt fake. I know it's funny. I was reading this one review and someone's like, "Oh, I love the what's it called when two people get along really well? The
Chemistry?
Chemistry between Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosberg, and it was nothing. I felt like Crowe was punching a time clock at best. It felt like he was just
They didn't have any
Well, he's playing a
chemistry.
straight man.
funny.
They
I'm
definitely
gonna
did
make
not
it
have
funny. No, I
chemistry.
get that, but that's what it felt like. I didn't think they had good chemistry at all.
Yeah, I mean, but I also think that was kind of the point of the movie. They're constantly at odds with each other.
But that's still that. But I
That's
mean,
still-
like Lethal Weapon's a great example of
Right.
two opposites that have amazing chemistry. You know, those characters have amazing chemistry. I
Maybe
know
the
it's two different kind of films, but not so much.
No, I mean I wouldn't argue that they're two different. I don't think you can say that like they're too different to compare. Actually, I agree with you that I like Tucker and Dale versus Evil, so I like dumb things.
yeah. And
Well, no,
she says this
I
is
like
beyond
I like
dumb.
that movie too.
I
think it
actually
breaks-
hate
but I like
that movie. I think that movie's terrible.
So I wonder what the dumb line is.
Yeah.
Where Ben likes it.
Yeah,
but
it's
then
interesting because honestly, to me, a lot of the like snappy humor in this movie reminds me a lot of Lebowski. I don't know if you guys like the.
Oh, I
comedy.
like Big Lebowski.
I love
Lebowski.
Big Lebowski.
Love Lebowski.
Honestly, a lot of this dialogue reminds me a lot of why I love The Big Lebowski so much because it's this dry, sort of matter-of-fact humor, you know, between these
Yeah.
guys.
You
And
pissed on his
sometimes
rug?
like funny things just kind of come out of their mouths and it's so unexpected or it's so like what, you know, and that's why I like this movie. It shares a lot of those things in common in terms of the writing, you know what I'm saying?
I,
Mm.
I,
And
I
that's-
totally agree. I don't know why it didn't work for me. Like I said, I wanted to like it. It started
It
out
is
great.
very
Yeah.
interesting.
I like the
that,
actors. I like the characters. I love the 70s right away. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I remember this era.
Yeah, and the
vaguely.
backdrop, that 70s thing. Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, wasn't funny.
I'm,
I
okay,
didn't- I
so
didn't
how
laugh
about
once.
this? What about the kids from Stranger Things?
What about them?
You don't think that they're precocious?
Yeah, they're precocious.
But that's like that doesn't bother you quite as much.
No, don't know why.
Interesting. I would love to understand better the goal. I don't think that you hate precocious kids. I think that there's like something else that irks you that
He was hurt by a
it's
precocious kid
art.
in his childhood.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
was I wanted to be a precocious child, but I couldn't spell it. So, didn't happen. No, this is art and it's emotional, right? And so there
Right.
there is no reasons why something didn't work for
Yeah,
you.
sometimes you just can't,
I don't know.
you just can't put your
We
finger on it.
I'm
sometimes.
gonna
No, you can
hire
dig
a
deep,
think
but-
tank, and we're gonna
Right.
break down the logic. We're gonna write
Yeah.
our.
It's like if you have to explain the joke, it isn't funny, right? It's the same
Right.
thing. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just the
You're
guy
not
in the
gonna
room that didn't
walk
get the joke.
away thinking
You
it's
know?
funny all of a sudden.
Yeah,
if we were
exactly.
No,
to
yeah,
break-
of course.
But I
not.
like this. But I like Stranger Things. I think those kids are appropriately precocious. I don't think they all are. They don't feel unnaturally precocious to me. I mean, 11 is obviously, but she also has his mental powers, so it fits. And she's still truly is naive because she's never experienced the world. It works. It
And in
works.
Stranger Things, they don't know what's happening. None of
Yeah.
them know what's happening. They just are smart for their age, basically. They're nerds. So
Yeah.
so
But
they're-
they still go to their nerdy science teacher to get their true guidance
true.
in stuff they don't understand about, which is
Mhm.
also a great way to do exposition, of course. But if they feel still natural to me, where again, like I said, talk about this all the time. If it doesn't work for you on an emotional level, then nothing's going to work for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
work.
She's not gonna work.
Precocious
Mhm.
kid. I don't mind precocious kids if it works. But just
That's actually my favorite band. So
Precocious,
Yeah,
kids,
Precocious
good.
kids.
Precocious
Playing
kids.
the- Mohawk in spring when it reopens.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So, yeah, I mean, well, they going back to the kid being, innocent. She basically is like, oh, okay, I guess this is all fine. And then help me out. They end up. Is this the point where they end up talking to
Yes.
the Department of Justice? Or
Yeah. So Amelia's
Yeah,
mother.
they talked to that lady.
Mhm. Yeah.
That lady.
That lady.
I mean, Basinger. Okay, really quick. You guys seen 8 Mile, right?
no.
Yeah.
Oh my, 8 Mile's a good movie.
Mhm.
Is
8 Mile's a
that
good movie.
Love that movie.
wait? Is 8
Kim
Mile?
Basinger's
That's
in it.
Adam
That's
Sandler.
the mom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Marshall Mathers film. You know, the
Okay.
Marshall Mathers.
Eminem.
Oh,
What's
I'm
his name?
thinking.
Eminem
I'm
film?
thinking of
That Lose Yourself
Longest
was
Yard.
written for.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good movie.
okay.
She's in it as his mom. Hottest trailer trash mom in history ever.
Yeah.
in that film
Really?
ever. She's
Man, I haven't
so
seen
hot
that movie in a
movie.
long time. Let me
Absolutely hot.
hold on. 8
White
Mile.
trash.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Kate
trailer,
Bessinger?
Mom hot. Oh, Kate Bessinger.
What's her name?
I think her name is Cal Messenger.
Cal.
Kim.
Hold on. Let
Kim
me.
Basinger.
I'm gonna. I'll do the graphics. So hold on.
She was Vicky Vale in the first Batman movie you love so much from 1989 with
Tim Burton. Michael
Kim-
Keaton.
Basinger.
Well,
Kim Basinger. That's what I said.
but you
Yeah,
see her in the movie.
yeah.
You get to see her in the movie, and she's
Yeah.
not a great person in the movie, but she's just the. I'm telling you, she's just the hot trailer trash mom in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
I don't know, man.
You know, well, it's an
You have to
emotional
watch a
thing. If
scene,
it doesn't work,
you know?
if
Well, it
it
doesn't
doesn't
work
work for you,
You guys are not
This
47 years
This
old.
is
like
not working on any level.
You gotta
Really?
work. No. But here's the thing: you rewatch one of those scenes. You can't just look at a picture because the picture doesn't.
You can't look at the
Okay.
picture because
Yeah.
she's gonna look
All
like
I'm
right.
with Daryl on this. I
Ridiculous.
think she is actually
You got to see in the
for
movie.
trailer trash moms.
She's
For trailer trash
mom.
moms.
All things
You know,
considered.
right now the top contender for trailer trash hot is actually the girlfriend from Fight Club for me.
Ugh.
Lena Bonham Carter.
Lena
Lena Bonham Carter.
I do like me some
Mm-mm.
help, but I tell you what, the hottest, since we're talking about hot trailer trash chicks, the hottest trailer trash chick ever in the history of hot trailer trash chicks is in the town, and it's Blake Lively.
Oh, but that's
Oh,
just Blake
yeah.
Lively though.
Hot. No, but she's trashy in it, and she's
Really?
10 times
Mhm.
hotter.
Blake Lively in the town.
No,
Awful, and it's
it's
awful.
awful.
She's just a terrible, gross human being, and I love her in it. It's great.
Oh,
She's so
dude.
hot.
Man, we're gonna go on a huge tangent. Actually,
Is that what's
I was
happening?
gonna talk about. I was like, speaking of
This is an important topic.
Yeah, what? Why
Attractive
is
people.
this?
Hottest trailer trash chick.
Let's
On
hear it
screen.
in the chat.
No.
Come on, chat. Give me
Yeah,
your hottest
complete
trailer
trash.
trash. Anybody,
Jesus.
guys, girls.
all right, we'll post a poll later.
I don't want to. I don't want to
first
do this.
Yes,
poll
you
ever.
do. This is
I
important.
don't. This
Why
is
not?
not important.
Kim Basinger.
It's not
the-
important.
She's she's what, Detroit's head of justice. or
Answer
something?
to the white trash trailer
Yeah.
trash mom. Yeah.
She basically tells them to find Amelia.
Oh, we're back to the movie.
Yes, we
Sorry.
are back
Yeah.
to the movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there's that whole
Uh,
scene where she's like, "I've been trying to push the mob out because they're expanding their porn operation." And Ryan Gosling's taking notes, and he's like, and thank you, awesome."
Yeah, I hate porn.
He's like, "Porn is bad."
Yeah, so she basically says, like, my daughter thinks I'm trying to kill her, but like, don't listen to her. Just grab her for me. Like, no big deal. I'll pay you money if you find her. And then Ryan Gosling, this is, I mean, another great, just cheeky moment with how bad of a PI he really is. He's like, I mean, something like this, as she's writing a check for what, like
Yeah.
$7,500,
$10,000.
$10,000, something like this, run you at least $5,000.
And she like rips it up and writes a new one. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
idiot.
So
But they get a clue, right? They get a sticky note or something that has some sort of sentence.
yeah, it
on
has some writing on it.
Yeah.
And so like they go back to the Ryan Gosling's house, and then we learn a little bit more about Russell Crowe. Ryan Gosling's like,
You're the diner guy.
why are you the diner guy? Yeah, well, because one of the cops recognizes him, or I think actually
Yeah.
Kim Basinger recognizes him. And so he's the diner guy. Ryan Gosling's like, what the fuck does that even mean? Why are you the diner guy? But he's like trashed laying on his diving board. And so Russell Crowe goes into this really emotional description of like how a guy held up a diner with a shotgun, and then he burst into action and he stopped him, and he got winged by a bullet in his shoulder, but he ended up like, apprehending the guy, and the cops all thanked him, and he ended up in national news and everything. And he said it's the first time he really felt useful. And that's all he really wants, is to feel useful. But as he's telling this really emotional scene, it cuts back to Ryan Gosling, and he has passed out at this point.
Yeah. And Russell Crowe's been basically talking to himself for how long? As the
Yeah.
story went on, like, he's probably just talking to himself for most of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's even though it's played for laughs, actually,
Is it?
I've totally had moments like that where you're telling a story and you think that it's really important, and you realize that like you have lost your whole audience.
Yeah.
I think all of us have
Well,
done things like that.
Oh
I think so,
yeah.
too. And you know what? Maybe that little part of it where he passes out was played for laughs, but the story up until that point is not really played for laughs. It's like a serious moment, and it has that little thing at the end. But even that I didn't actually think was played for laughs. When he's fallen asleep, I actually think Russell Crowe, like in that moment, he's like, and no one cares.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You
Which
know?
is exactly. I mean,
And
They-
no one actually cares.
they
You know,
totally
right.
captured this weird socially awkward thing that everybody has experienced. I'm convinced. Where you're like animatedly telling a story, maybe just storytellers. I guess some people don't like to tell stories. But yeah, you're telling a story. You look up and you're like, "Holy shit, no one is listening to me. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna shut the fuck up."
It's like every story I tell.
And you get like those hot sweats where you're like,
It's not good.
"Okay,
Not a
well,
good
anyways,
storyteller.
I guess I'll just."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought that was like, I mean, I've never seen that really captured in a film quite so realistically. And it's weird for it to be in a comedy film for played for laughs, to some extent. Daryl, what's your favorite film where that was successfully done? You've got more infinite film knowledge than we do.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to your story.
Oof.
Ooh, you just played that for laughs.
Oh, I got the hot sweats.
Played that for laughs. I don't know. How's that for an answer?
Fair. Very
Pretty
fair.
good answer because it makes me
Yeah.
feel more confident in what I just said.
All right.
Um,
I don't really
yes.
watch movies like this, I guess.
I don't think that this is
Apparently not.
required to be.
I-
Well, I
I
don't
never-
think that particular moment is required.
No, I
to
know
be
you're
only-
saying that
Yeah.
this isn't a super original thing they did. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I was kind of out, not on your story. I was kidding on the movie. At this point, I was kind of just waiting for it to be over so I
Mm.
could talk about it today, or not talk about it today. So
Well, anyways, so the
Yes.
plot. Well, I wanted to talk about the next part. So
the
they
plot.
they get this like clue or whatever, and it's got like some numbers on it, and then it looks like an address, and it says FLT. So they think it's like a flight ticket number.
that part was great.
That part was fantastic.
That part was great.
So I mean, they have this entire thing where they're in the house, and then
part was good.
Russell Crowe's getting pissed off. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go find this girl. You don't have to do anything, all this stuff." And then he gets to the point where, like, his daughter also is like, "I hate you," and all this stuff, and that they never resolve, which I thought was kind of interesting. And then
Mhm.
Russell Crowe's getting ready to leave, and like he opens up the door, and Ryan Gosling's like, "That's not a flight number." And then he looks at his daughter. He's like, "Did he stop?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Hand on the door." So they talk
Yeah.
about those tropes that are in movies all the time, where it's like, "I have information," and the person's like, "Okay, I'll stay and help you," and then the story continues.
Yeah.
So
kinda
they have
comment.
that moment,
was
but they
played
call
for
it out,
laughs.
which is pretty good. They played that for laughs. And he's like, "Okay, well, this is a date because it's like the European way, so the numbers are flipped around. This
All the
this is flat.
explanation.
Yeah, this is FLT actually stands for flat, and so this is an address, so we just need to go to this address." And then they go to this address, and it's been bulldozed like 2 years ago, and I love it because he's just flat out wrong, and then he's like,
Yeah.
"All right, so
Couldn't have been
let's try
wrong.
the airport then,
Yeah.
I guess."
That
So
was
they just go
funny.
back to the
That,
airport.
that whole setup was hilarious.
That was great. It's
I
such
love
good
that
setup
Didn't see that
because
coming.
yeah.
Okay, I did laugh at that
Yeah,
part.
that was
Okay,
pretty
you got
good.
me. All right,
You
Jeremy.
got me once.
Yeah.
Happy.
Yeah, my
Fucking
one
laugh,
time.
okay, yeah.
That was a great scene. And then it still wasn't a flight, right? It actually turned out to be
It was an
hotel room
apartment.
number.
It was a hotel.
Yeah, it was a hotel room number. So they were all wrong. So
God, and actually that comes up onto one of my favorite scenes in the movie too, because it's like an action flick. You got the buddy cops and stuff, so you're like, yeah, these guys are badasses. I just watched one of them kill a guy. Like, I have total confidence in my main characters that they can handle shit right now. They
Mhm.
go in, they threaten the bartender. They finally get some information that the person that they're looking for is upstairs. She's
And there's a
actually-
hitman
yeah,
up there
and
as
there's
well.
they learn that there's a hitman up there, and they're like, hitman, Schmidtman, like whatever. You think he's gonna kill somebody in a hotel? Like, there's no way
Yeah.
that would happen. They go in the elevator, and the bartender's like, I fucking told you, whatever. They get up to the top, they open the doors open, they stick their heads out. A fucking bouncer has like been stabbed in the neck. He's bleeding out and falls down. Ryan Gosling gives him one of like the eyebrow raises, like, oh, that's weird. They look over.
Yeah.
They see another bouncer getting shot up a
It's
bunch
shot
of times.
multiple times.
And then both of them are just like, nope.
Straight faced. They're straight faced too. That's just like, no. And then they click that elevator button, just watch the doors close.
The guy gets thrown out a window. He's falling past the elevator. And they're just like, I'm glad we didn't go up there.
Yeah. That was
Oh,
pretty
man.
funny.
And then they get the fuck out of Dodge. They're like, well, I mean, Amelia's dead, but she's she's clearly dead. And then she jumps off like a parking garage and lands on their car.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, she falls right into their laps. Yet again.
After almost shooting them,
Mhm.
the first thing
and
she
then
does
she's-
is like take a shot at them.
That's right.
Hold on.
Liz has just let us know that she let air out of her nose at a slightly higher than usual velocity.
I've never heard it described like that. I'm gonna start using that. That's good. That got me.
Oh man.
Is that her snort of derision? Is that what she's saying?
Basically,
No,
yeah.
It's like when you.
Yeah, it's like when you breathe out of
like
your
when
nose.
you laugh, but it's like when you laugh at something on the internet, right? It's like, you don't actually laugh. You just go. Okay. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, that's a great description. That's good.
You guys don't laugh at things on the internet?
LOL.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
She lolled.
Man, I laugh at my
Danon,
phone
is
all the
that a
time.
puppy cup?
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
Oh, it's
Can't
that. Oh,
see
Oh,
it.
it's blurry.
focus.
it's censored. It's censored.
censored.
What the
Protect
fuck
the
is happening
identity
to
of that puppy.
dude?
That puppy's under 18.
Yeah.
So censor that.
We can't show
Jesus,
this.
man.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Just use your imagination, okay?
Yeah.
Don't use
Adorable.
your imagination. It's just a dog.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh.
Whoa! Look at the censor
Sorry.
man.
I'm sorry.
God, there's kids watching
Here
this.
we go. We're good.
Cover that dog's tits.
Oh God. Jesus. So they go back to the house, and they fucking the Department of Justice lady calls, and it's like, or it's not the Department of Justice. It's actually her secretary, who Ryan Gosling is trying to flirt with unsuccessfully. She's like, hey, she just left. I don't know. I'm worried. Have you found Amelia? He's like, yeah, I found Amelia. And she's like, oh, cool. Let me send the family doctor after her. And at this point, I don't know how Ryan Gosling was just like, oh, yeah, family doctor. Sure. That makes sense to me. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Send him right over. But of course, it turns out to be this hitman that's
Hitman.
been
Matt
loosely
Bomer.
referenced. Yeah.
Mhm.
What do we know
Yeah.
him
Boomer.
from?
Neil
Look for-
Caffrey, white
He's-
collar.
Yeah, he's the white collar. He's also
been a bunch of
from.
stuff.
I
he's
was
from
just
that-
looking IMDb and I can't place where I've seen him before.
You know what it is? He looks exactly like Henry Cavill.
Who?
He was in Chuck.
does look
He
like-
was Chuck's best friend, Dad.
That's
Where he's from.
Wait, what?
Okay, no, maybe not.
Right.
Really?
Wasn't-
He's-
You know,
I didn't even realize he was
The
in
first
Chuck.
episode of Chuck, he's the
Weird.
dude that finds out the thing, and he gets the
Oh,
the
that's
analyst
where I know
thing,
him
and then
from.
sends it to Chuck, and then shows up
That's
in the
what it
third
is.
season and
Oh.
So he's from Chuck.
That was a great
Yeah,
show.
great show.
When it was good.
Chuck is a
Yeah,
good show.
for like the first
He was in-
3 to 4 seasons.
It was really good, yeah.
He's also an American Horror
That
Story.
movie, or that show White
Wait,
Collar
what?
Yeah, he was.
on USA.
Mhm.
That's where I know him
Yeah,
from.
that's I think
I know him
where he's
from White
most
Collar
famous.
as well. And I thought that he was Henry Cavill. When I saw it, I was like, oh, dude, the
It's
dude
funny.
from
I
White
He
never
Collar
looks
thought
a
about
lot
that,
like a-
but he does look like Superman.
Yeah.
like a skinnier Superman.
hmm
I honestly did not know that those were two different people until like maybe last year.
But Superman
Nice.
What?
and Clark Kent.
Late to the party.
Watch this. It's just like this, Vincey.
Oh my
Totally.
god!
Oh my God, Superman!
Whoa!
Oh, it's Clark again.
Hold on, this
so
is
easy.
Matt Bomer right here. Man, this is like the
Bomer.
worst quality
Smoke show.
are you
picture.
showing it
It's
on
so
screen?
pixelated.
How are we? We're not. How can you? What? We're not
I'm
seeing
showing
this.
it
Not
on
seeing
stream.
Yeah, I'm doing
this
it
on
on.
the-
oh,
is this
on,
on the
if
on
you-
chat?
stream.
This is on the lay stream. Yeah,
I don't.
Oh, yeah,
I don't chit chat on the chit chat.
Mm,
Yeah, see, that's Henry Cavill, right?
basically.
So
It's a good looking dude.
anyways, I actually, on the rewatch, if we're going to look at this from an action perspective, which I think even Daryl could appreciate,
Even Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize how impressively they made this guy out to be like a pretty good, I don't know, hitman, I guess. Obviously, they have this big exchange. He shows up to the house. Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling get back to the house like kind of at the same time. He's trying to hold the girls hostage. He throws Jessica. What was her name?
Jessica.
Either
He
way.
throws Jessica through a window.
Calls her Janet the whole movie. She gets
Yeah.
tossed out a window.
Through a window, yeah. Through a window.
Jesus.
She
And
had it
so-
coming, I'm sure.
Well, she's gonna
We're
call
just talking on the
911.
phone the entire time.
Fucking
Yeah.
Janet.
Dumb
Exactly.
bitch.
Serious.
So
Come on.
fuck it. So they show up and then they get into a small altercation and he makes it back. Fucking Johnny Boy Matt Bomer gets back to his car, pulls out a fucking like, what the fuck was that thing? A Tommy gun or something?
You know what? Actually, I think best guess is I don't know if you guys would be familiar. I think it's called a Sten. Are you familiar with this?
Really?
God.
It's an
A
old like
Sten.
World
Yeah,
War
the
II
grease
style
gun.
machine
Yeah.
gun.
It's like a
The
fucking
grease gun because
barrel
it's got
drum.
the sideways magazine. I was looking at it today and I was like, I think it's a Sten. I
Mm.
think. Look it up.
This crazy machine gun in his car. He
Yeah.
starts fucking lighting them up. They're pinned down. Ryan Gosling makes a run for it, barely gets inside. And then he gets his gun, comes back out. Now they both are pinning him down. So he grabs a second gun and is shooting at both of them at the same
Yeah.
time.
Dual wielding
Yeah, it's fucking. It's a crazy shootout.
in this like suburbs, like
Mhm.
It's like
suburban
rich people suburb
cul-de-sac.
too.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Gosling's house is pretty fucking nice.
Yeah.
And he hears the cops coming, so he's like, "Ah, fuck, I gotta get out of here." He drives off, with his fucking car full of holes.
The Amelia chick takes off.
Yeah, the Amelia
Mhm.
chick gets
Stupid.
yeah, she's like,
Stupid.
"Fuck
I have
this, I
no
gotta get out of
sympathy
here."
for her.
Me neither, man.
I have
That's-
zero sympathy for her when she escapes the safest place she could have been.
She's already been
Yeah.
rescued. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
why I like
Real
this
well.
movie. Again, they're throwing tropes out the window because she like goes to the first car that she can find on the street and flags him down, and it's John Boy. And he's
Oh my
like,
God.
Tim.
"Oh shit," and then just shoots her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and she's
shoots her
dead.
dead.
Yeah.
And it's not this whole like, aha, the bad guy has the damsel in distress and kidnaps her or whatever to kill her. No, just
He just
shoots
does
her
his
right down
job.
there.
Yeah.
Pop.
Just
and
like,
then-
wow, look at that. And
Yeah,
gets
at
away.
this point, you're almost like, wait.
Yeah, and he gets
So,
away.
like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and gets away. So at this point, it feels like, wait, what the fuck are they gonna? What are they gonna do now? Like with the rest of the movie, because they find her, she's dead, and then they get paid, quote unquote, by the secretary. As a result, they're like, well, you found her. Here's your $5,000. We're sad that it turned out this way, but like it is what it is. And then they're driving away, and Ryan Gosling is like drunk or tired or something, but he's like falling asleep. He's having a conversation with Russell Crowe. He like hallucinates a bee in the back seat, and then they end up crashing into like the water tanks that they put so you don't die when you crash into the freaking divider. And all the money goes everywhere, except it's not money. It's like coupons or something.
It's like
like little
newspaper.
magazine
Some
strips.
random like
they used to,
printouts.
like,
Coupons
yeah.
are just as good as money. Coupons are
Uh,
just as good as money.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a big fucking blunder on part of the baddies, because that very clearly tells them, holy shit, they're in cahoots with the guy that just killed Amelia.
Yeah, and Amelia wasn't lying. Amelia was actually telling the whole truth the whole time.
Right, her
about
mom was
her
trying
mom
to kill her.
which they completely ignored.
Yeah, they're like, fucking shut up, dude. We're gonna call your
Yeah.
mom. So, yeah, I mean, at this point, what happens? They do some super sleuthing. They go to the house that the grandma had seen Misty Meadows or Misty Mountains.
Mountains.
Because that was that's what
Misty
kicks off the whole
Meadows.
Misty Meadows.
None says huge
Ooh.
tits like Misty Meadows.
She's Misty Mountain's little sister.
Feels large tracts of land. I just hit another microphone.
Large
Yeah,
tracks,
my-
like 2 boulders.
I was just gonna bring that up.
Yeah,
Brought it up for me.
huge tracts of land.
I'll bet her ass is like 2 boulders. That's what Ben told me once. That was the inside joke for anyone not
That
familiar.
was that was at a party that we had where we were talking about the asses of the 80s.
The asses of the 80s. This girl had an ass like 2 boulders. I think I fell
On a
over a
hill.
balcony at some point during that party.
Yeah,
actually.
that was
Two
you were a balcony
boulders.
guy that night.
Might have been.
You were our balcony guy that night. Yeah.
That's
And
true.
was asleep by 10 p.m.
Yeah, that's also
Like
probably
every one of
true.
our old podcasts.
Yeah.
Hey man, podcasting is hard work.
Barely.
You were feeding me those Michelob Ultras, it's-
Feeding him like he was like,
yeah.
and we're pouring it into his mouth or something.
All 2% alcohol of them.
Mhm.
dude,
Yeah, like
supplement on
5 or
that.
6 in, they really start to sneak up on you.
Daryl was always like, God damn it, I gotta buy more of these Michelob Ultras.
Well, you would get
And
the
drink 'em
24
all.
pack. You know,
yeah,
we
you
go
had to
through it
drink
in
like
a
18
night.
of them
Yeah,
to,
it was.
to feel a buzz.
I
so.
mean, yeah, those are
why that would
pretty
knock
light,
you out.
man. Those are pretty light.
Oh man.
That's why we switched when we did the podcast to wine. That was good.
yeah.
Mm.
That was good.
Oh yeah,
Ben's
podcast.
We're just
all,
passing around a
"Y'all,
bottle."
I'm so drunk. Like, Ben, that's water.
We haven't started.
That's tap water, Ben.
Yeah,
It's really hard.
Gotten, man. Well, I'm no Ryan Gosling. I can't put him
Right.
down.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they have this realizations. They go and figure out actually where the grandma saw Misty Meadows, and they find out that there's another copy of the porn tape that Amelia made to fight the man of Detroit, which is her mom. And they find this copy of the porn tape. They're all ecstatic that they have like this evidence, and things are going really well for them. And then the grandma, of course, is like, "Wait, so my daughter
niece
or my
or daughter or whatever.
oh, is it niece? Maybe she's
I think it's
Yeah.
niece.
Yeah, it was
Niece,
her. It was her.
yeah.
It was her aunt, and it was
yeah.
not to be too pedantic here, but it wasn't a tape. It was
It
film.
was a
yes.
film.
Remember, I
was a
like when he
film.
pops the thing and the projector comes, the 60 millimeter projector comes out
Yeah,
of the. That was pretty badass.
out of the table.
Yeah,
Did
on
you
the
have one
table.
of those
On the
growing up,
table.
Daryl?
No, but
That looks pretty sick.
Wow. Okay.
we had this little Super 8 projector that had a pull-out screen on the projector.
How does that work?
Wow.
Oh,
There was a screen on the projector, and you'd pull it out.
All right.
Yeah, and then
But
projector.
you pull it out, and then
Yeah.
it shits the fucking light out into the
Yeah, right.
universe.
It was about this big, and you pull it out, and a mirror would flop out at 45 degrees. And the lens would shoot and then shoot and
okay.
hit the back of it. It was a piece of ground glass. So,
That's cool.
That's really
actually.
cool.
and I'd be at night, like to go to the bathroom, walking by my brother's room, and he had the door closed, and I could hear that thing in there going because he had Super 8 porn. And I'm like, wonder what he's doing in there. So we
I
didn't
mean,
have
it covers
VHS.
up the sound of jerking off at least.
Yeah, he didn't have the internet like y'all did. We had to
But he
use
did have that
film and-
pull-out screen on the projector.
had the pull-out screen.
It's pretty good.
Right.
My screen pulls out, but I don't.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Ah,
Whoa!
whatever
Oh
that
my
sound
God.
effect is.
Get it? It's like the couch joke. Never mind.
So, so they
Back to the
figure
movie.
out. Yeah, right. They figure out based off of all these clues that that Chet is actually the one who has the film, and he's the one.
Fucking Chet.
Fucking Chet. We're back to Chet, this
Fuck that
bastard who
guy.
we thought
Yeah.
knew nothing, but actually turned out
Chets
to
of
be.
the world.
Right.
No, there's a great line that I forgot about when they're in the burned house halfway through the movie, and Jet's talking about it. He's like, totally get it. I'm in the biz. I'm a projectionist, and
projection-
everybody's expression
Professional
just like,
projectionist.
yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh, God.
Artistic movies.
Hmm
He's
Yeah.
in the biz.
Experimental films.
Yeah,
is
and
what
Ryan
they're called.
Gosling's rant
Yeah.
about how his daughter's gonna end up with the Chets of the world is funny.
Yeah, well, he's like, let me tell you something about detective work. That was a funny rant. He's like, you spend half your time interviewing the fucking Chets of the world. Yeah, I thought that was funny. There you go.
So, yeah, it
Thanks.
turns out fucking Chet is actually the one who's going to be screening the movie at the car thing. So of course they go to
The LA Car Show, 1978.
Yeah, the 1978 LA car show. Wait, not L. Is it? It's Detroit.
It's LA.
Detroit.
Very much
LA?
LA.
Oh, well.
Starts out in Hollywood for Hollywood.
But it has a
in
connection
Detroit.
to Detroit.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
right. So they go to the car show. They get they basically get into some hijinks that leads us up to a great action scene. But they go up to the projector. They find Chet. They get the film, or they don't find Chet. They just go up to the projector room. And then the secretary shows up and holds them all at gunpoint. And Russell Crowe's like, "Come on, think about this. You ever even killed anybody?" And she's like, "Yeah, 3 times in Detroit." They get then
It
him and Ryan
stops him right in
Gosling.
his tracks.
Him and Ryan Gosling start arguing with each other because Ryan Gosling's trying to weasel out of it, and Russell Crowe's like, "Look at where we are, man. She's fucking killed 3 people. Like, read the situation." I love. See, that was good chemistry. That banter between them, I actually really enjoyed because it really speaks to like their old married couple arguing.
Right.
And
Old-
Holly
old married
tries to.
couples
Yeah.
argue about how many people they murdered all the time. Sorry, go ahead.
Or about how they're about to get murdered.
Yes.
this.
Mm.
That's right. Well, I mean, I don't know
Please
about
murder
you,
us.
but my secretary holds up old married couples all the time. It's just part of the biz, as they call
This is
it.
part of
Yeah, you
the biz.
know.
He's in the biz, you know,
Natural occurrence.
Mhm.
projectionist.
And she's waiting to kill Chet.
Yeah. She wants to kill Chet.
Yeah.
Holly comes in, is like, room service. Another fucking spy movie trope, I guess.
Yeah.
And she just like opens the door and she's like, "Come in, Holly, you fucking idiot."
And
rolls
then
in-
yeah.
Go ahead.
And she pulls this fast one. And she's like, "Well, how about this?" And she's like, throws the coffee, and you think that's gonna be it. That's another trope. And it's cold. It's like completely fucking cold coffee. And she's like, "Why'd you just throw cold coffee on me?" And she's like, "Well, I thought it was gonna be hot." And Ryan Gosling's laying on the floor, and he's like, "I like where your head's at, sweetie.
It could have been good.
That could have been good."
So
I
he's
like where your
looking
head's
for
at.
the ankle gun that he thinks.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah. He looks for the
There's
ankle,
the
yeah.
gun. But that's just part of the dream sequence, which is
That never happened, and he doesn't have an ankle.
and Russell Crowe's like, "Are you serious, man?"
It's almost as if to say like, "You're embarrassing me."
Mhm.
You're straight up embarrassing me.
It's like, if you lost your fucking mind.
Yeah.
But then she slips on the fucking coffee and hits her head on the table.
And it does
Uh,
work out.
And so they do actually manage to get away. So this gets to a great scene where Russell Crowe comes face to face with the guy that said he was going to go to Michigan, Keith David. Actually, no, that's not how things turn out, is it? Keith David finds Holly first, doesn't he?
He finds Ryan Gosling and his daughter.
That's right. And he takes them
Finds
up
them
on the
both.
roof where he's going to execute them, even though he was
Yeah.
told explicitly to go to the projector room. He just ignores his orders because he
Yeah,
found these
he's
guys.
got a
instead.
grudge.
Yeah. So he's holding them at gunpoint. Ryan Gosling tussles with him, and they both fall off the roof. But Keith David lands on the sidewalk, and Ryan Gosling lands in the pool.
Yeah, and there's this great like little
be fucking
splatter
dead.
of just blood that's just his entire body just
Oh
like a
my god!
ball.
Mhm.
And there's a callback to the story that Russell Crowe tells, where he's like, "Yeah, so man, this guy got into a car accident, and Richard Nixon and his driver are driving. They see the car accident, and Richard Nixon gets out of the car, runs up to the guy, is holding his hand. He's like, 'It's gonna be all right, son.' Can you imagine what that guy was thinking? He's looking up, and it's like, does he think that everybody that dies sees Richard Nixon, or like,
Oh yeah. And he's in the pool.
yeah. And so, and so he's like, I love Ryan Gosling's response to that too. It's just like, what, you tell me this whole fucking story about Richard Nixon? You could have just told
Yeah.
me people see things from different perspectives, but you tell me this whole thing. Well, you didn't like my Richard Nixon story? Well,
Yeah.
okay, it's kind of good. He sees Richard Nixon in the pool.
In the pool after he
Boy.
almost dies.
Yeah. Gets out of the pool. Russell Crowe ends up tussling with Keith David at this point. Oh no, Keith David's dead. Russell Crowe is actually fighting Johnny Boy now at this point, right? Because Johnny
Yep.
Boy
Yeah.
realizes that the film is not going to stop, so he starts shooting at the projector, trying to get it to stop. And he also throws a grenade randomly into the crowd.
Did he throw a
Uh,
grenade?
What's that?
He threw a grenade? I don't remember this part, but that's all right. I'll
That's
believe
why
you. I just don't remember the.
Isn't that why the
Grenade.
the showcase car catches on fire?
I think he tosses a grenade into the car.
Is it? Oh, is that what happens? Oh,
Showcase
I didn't know
car.
why it blew up. Actually, I thought it was just like, oh, movie.
Yeah,
it
well,
goes
I
with
think
the
that
thing.
signals a couple things to us. First of all, that he has fucking grenades on him.
Oh, you okay,
Uh,
there,
All right, Jeremy?
I'm good. Good, just Mike almost
Something
fell. We're
happened,
good.
or
Totally good. Continue.
But this is actually the action scene that I was talking about with Matt Bomer, because like multiple times, like he's trying to fight Russell Crowe, but also the bouncers are trying to stop him too. So Russell Crowe has no opposition other than Matt Bomer, but Bomer's like, he's like shooting at
Character.
Russell Crowe, and then like a guy comes up to him and he like twists around and shoots him a couple times, and he's like, over and over, he's just like expertly murdering all these bouncers that come at him. On the second watch, I didn't realize like how entertaining it was to watch them like constantly try to stop him, and he just like keeps pulling all these moves, and you're thinking like, man,
Yeah.
like he's probably like Matt Bomer in his mind is thinking like, fuck, dude, I have to become way more efficient with killing people. Like this is taking me way too much time every time one of these guys comes at me.
Right.
And so, ultimately, there's that scene where Russell Crowe finally gets to him, and they're like wrestling, and he grabs his suit jacket, it throws him to the ground, and he looks at his hand, and he's pulled a grenade pin. And so,
Oh yeah.
Matt Bomer pulls his jacket off and throws it down, and then the guy that was going to shoot was going
Gosling.
to shoot Ryan Gosling. It lands on that dude
Yeah.
and fucking blows him up.
Yeah, I like that they're tying that they like tie those two things together through the like stuff keeps flying off the roof. People
Oh
keep
my-
flying off the roof.
Right. God, dude, all this shit. Ryan Gosling's chasing after the film, not the tape. He finally gets the tape.
Thank you.
Russell Crowe is, gotten the
Tape
upper
film.
edge. Russell Crowe has gotten the upper hand and he's strangling Matt Bomer. And then Holly comes up and we get the little innocent moment of Holly saying, like, no, you don't have to kill him. Like, please don't. If you kill him, I'll never talk to you again.
Wow, thanks, 13-year-old.
That's when you kill
Yeah,
him.
and-
That's when you kill him.
Do you
I think he
promise?
just punches him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you promise? So he punches him in the face instead. And the cops show up. They basically get shit on anyways, though. Like the lawyer's like, nah, man, like this, it's still not enough. They're like, oh man, can you fucking believe that that they're gonna get free? The only thing that really happens is Kim Basinger goes to jail as a result of her actions with colluding with them, but the big three remain unharmed. And I love her line at the end. They see each other in I guess sentencing or the
Yeah, in a courthouse it looks
in the
like.
courthouse, yeah. And she's like, Detroit will never go down, which is just with 1978, was that the height of Detroit's automobile industry, Daryl?
I don't know.
Because it
I was 4
It
years
certainly
old.
seemed that way.
it certainly
must
you
have
weren't-
been.
Certainly.
You weren't in Detroit
it's
at that
not
time, Dad?
it's not at its height anymore,
No.
That's for sure. Yeah.
which I thought was great. Such an empty threat. She's like, Detroit will be powerful forever. It's fucking probably a couple years later that the whole industry crashes. But yeah, we get some resolution with Kim Basinger. They go to some like Mexican cantina together, Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. They talk about what's happened.
Russell Crowe finally drinks with him because the whole movie, that was his whole thing, is like, I'm not drinking. He finally has one drink with him at the end of the movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Another just ass backwards fucking moral.
Yeah.
Oh, you finally started drinking. Good for you.
Yeah, it is kind of this ass backwards thing. It's like such a positive. And Russell Crowe's like, you know what? I feel great.
I'm
I'm going to keep drinking.
gonna keep drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
They go
so
into
they're-
business for themselves.
Yeah,
at the
they
end of the
they
movie.
go into they make their own agency called The Nice Guys.
Yeah.
And then it
That's
ends on
right.
that.
Seems like it could have been set up. Maybe they were trying to do a sequel or they left the door open for something like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this
Yeah.
is. I think.
I don't know if they're going to, I don't think they will, but it seems like they intentionally left that door open.
There was a
I
time.
think they were like, "Hey, should we do a sequel?" And then someone was like, "That's probably only for good movies."
Well, honestly,
they
no one
didn't.
saw this movie, so
it's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, this movie was.
I-
left
I
for
thought
dead
it-
at
not come to
box
see this
office.
movie.
So like I thought of a comedy just popped in my head, buddy movie that I think is fucking great and I love it and I watch it many times. I think it's
Rush
funny.
Hour.
The Rundown. The
Hmm.
fucking Rundown is great.
With The Rock?
Yes. And Sean William,
Sean
Scott
William
Thomas,
Scott.
whatever the hell his name is. Fucking great buddy comedy.
That's
I
a fun one.
laughed. I
Hmm.
cried.
Oh.
That is a fun movie. What's the one you said, Dan? When I was
Oh,
saying-
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour is fucking great too. I love
Yeah,
Rush
Rush
Hour.
Hour
Hour is
fantastic.
fucking great.
Hilarious.
Well,
Hilarious.
okay. If you want to talk about forced comedy,
Whoa,
Rush
Oh,
Hour.
sir.
Whoa.
you're going to
Okay,
talk about
wow.
over the top comedy.
Girl on the phone. What does she think?
You know,
Liz, tell us your thoughts on Rush Hour.
That's what I said. Girl on the phone.
Chris Tucker is
phone?
more forced comedy
Let's call it
than,
in.
than,
I'm old.
I
than
kn-
most of this entire
How
movie.
dare you?
Dude, there's that scene at the
Tucker.
end. I mean, I think it's hilarious, but he fucking
It's funny,
throws the
but you're gonna
napkin
talk-
on him. Wipe yourself off. You
It's
dead.
You're
great.
going to talk to me about how you don't like slapstick or you think this movie has too much forced humor. And then you're like,
That's-
Rush Hour is a great
But
movie.
Rush Hour is great.
Liz says
Yeah,
very
that's
good.
fucking that's Bass Ackwards. Ackwards.
That's
Bass
backwards.
Bass backwards. Ooh.
That is
That's my rapper name.
earring catch, bass catching backwards.
Yeah, bass
Mhm.
catching earring.
This is what I'm talking about, though, right? Where you think Rush Hour is Rush Hour is your Nice Guys, and Nice Guys is my Rush Hour.
Well,
I
What?
Nice
think,
Guys
I think
is-
Rush Hour is great.
is-
It's the same
Rush
type of
Hour's
film,
fucking
right?
great. I
No,
still
you know
like
that Rush Hour is like an all. It is, but it isn't because Rush Hour is a lot more stupid.
It is. It is a lot more
It is-
stupid. No,
It
he's
is a
right.
lot more
It is a lot more
stupid
stupid
comedy.
than
and
The
Nice
Nice Guys.
is actually has a lot of smart humor in it.
It does.
And
It has
clever,
really good
snappy
dialogue.
writing.
Yes.
Rush Hour is like blockbuster comedy, which is not
Yes.
bad. It's just that's
I mean,
Nice Guys is not just blockbuster buddy cop movie.
I do want to say that I
Okay.
think Rush Hour is a better movie.
way more entertaining.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I agree.
like it
Yeah,
is. I mean,
I
the
think so,
humor
too.
the humor is different. You're
Mhm.
right. The humor is totally
Humor's different.
different. Rush Hour, anybody I think would understand the jokes. In Nice Guys, Daryl clearly couldn't keep up with the humor. So.
I'm too slow.
'Cause
Liz
Nice Guys
says
is
that
more akin to it's more
It's
akin
stupid
to
on purpose.
yeah. Liz says it's
Yeah.
stupid on purpose,
right. Yeah.
which is true. Yeah. This
Yeah,
is
I
what
agree.
one of these movies.
What Rush Hour stupid on purpose? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
How?
It
dare
is.
you.
It is.
Did you see that? Did anyone notice that Jaws 2 poster on when they were going down Sunset? I think it was. It was really cool.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Oh, is when they were looking at the porn billboard.
I think so. Yeah, they're driving
Okay.
down. I think it's Sunset or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they passed the Roxy, and junk like that, and then
Mhm.
they passed that billboard with Jaws 2 on it, which I thought was cool. Tied
You
it into
know-
the 78 nicely.
It is really interesting to me. Is this movie like actually? Is that when porn took off in LA? Was the late 70s?
Late 70s.
I don't know.
Maybe
It's
it was about the 70s. I mean, that's what it exploded in New York, and then kind of just went
Well,
from
I think
there.
most of the kind of stereotypical porno stash, porno like wah guitar, like a lot of those early like porn stereotypes I think came out of the 70s. I think I don't know. But I
I
think
don't
so.
Well, I know that 70s porn is a thing. I was just
Is that why you're working on your porn stash, Jer?
ooh.
Exactly. Yeah. Actually, you can't see, but also this porn goatee. That's a new
Well, he already
what
knows
makes
how
it
to
a
play
porn
music.
goatee?
A porn goatee,
Porn
but
goatee.
you
Yeah.
might make that happen. You know.
Mhm. You got to be
Yeah.
different somehow
Well, you gotta be a
To break-
trailblazer.
to
Yeah.
break into the biz.
Uh-huh.
You're not going to make money as a male porn star, anyways, right? So it's like you got
Probably not.
Right.
It
I
might
don't
as
know.
well be
Yeah, you're not-
different.
You're not
Yeah.
going to make the lady money, as we call it.
No.
Is that
I
what
don't
we
think
call it?
anyone
Lady
calls it
money.
that, but
But I do know exactly what you're talking about. I
if
don't
you
have
guys ever
lady
seen
money.
Boogie Nights. You will never have lady money. You guys ever seen Boogie Nights?
Mm-mm.
Dude, I wanted to watch that movie.
Great movie.
I-
we should watch
Wait,
it next.
wait.
Yeah.
Is Boogie Nights a great movie, or is
Yes.
it like the
Great movie.
freaking Trailer Park
No.
John Travolta film?
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Oh, Saturday night.
Oh no.
Right.
He's talking
No.
about
Sorry.
We
Urban
watched
Cowboy.
this for anything but Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about Urban Cowboy, the best movie ever.
That
Urban
My
movie
daddy
was
says that was smart,
not-
real good.
That movie
Terrible
was
movie.
a not good for
That
me.
movie
movie
was
is
so bad, it
horrid.
was not good. Still,
See,
It's
to
not
me,
one of
it's
those
so
movies that
bad,
was
it's
so-
great. I love
no,
it.
it
love
wasn't at that
Urban
point
Cowboy.
yet.
I haven't
It took
seen
itself
Urban
too
Cowboy.
seriously. Or it
I
was
would
just
That's
like,
why
never
it's
recommend
brilliant.
Urban Cowboy to anybody.
That movie does not know how
So
bad, it is.
So
That's why
bad.
it's bad. That's why that movie takes itself very seriously. And
I love
that's
how
why
th-
it's awesome.
Yeah.
It
The
thinks
entire
it has
movie-
a good point too.
It
It's
does.
so awful.
That movie is so in love
Oh.
with itself, and it thinks it's the smartest thing out there. And
hate that movie.
no, I love Urban Cowboy.
I mean,
Okay.
if you want to enjoy some like wife beatery where the wife beater is the good guy, then like
It was
Definitely.
1980, bro.
definitely
Um,
watch Urban Cowboy.
Doesn't make it good.
No, but it does make it good. Urban Cowboy, Saturday Night Fever, also terribly bad, also great for the
Yeah.
same reason.
But
Sorry,
Boogie
we were-
Nights
it's
is just
definitely-
genuinely good.
But no, Boogie Nights is genuinely good. But
Yeah,
but
it's
it
got a lot
takes-
of people in
takes
it, right?
place during the 70s and 80s porn transition from
Hmm.
film to video, which is kind of cool. So it's
Yeah.
semi-autobiographical about that time period, about the porn in that time period. William H. Macy's in it. Is that good enough for anyone?
Like that.
Okay. Any
I like William H.
viewers?
Macy.
Seymour Hoffman's in it, right?
Yeah,
Or am I-
Philip Seaman Hoffmore's in it.
Is he really?
Seaman Hoffman. Yeah.
Oh
Yes, of
damn.
course.
Okay, I'm in.
Philip Seaman Hoffmore's in it. Burt Reynolds is great in it.
Yeah.
No, it's a really good movie, but it's
Yeah,
like I
I've
said,
heard
sort of
I've heard a
during
lot
that time.
about it.
It's
I've
not
just
sort of
never
it is
seen
during that time period, late
Okay.
70s.
Yeah.
late
Well,
80s.
actually,
Mhm.
it is the weirdest connection for us to jump off of, but I actually totally support it.
John C.
Yeah, it makes-
Riley
Yeah, John C. Reilly's
and
in it.
Mark Wahlberg's in
That's
it.
Chest Rockwell.
Oh, Mark Wahlberg! Didn't Boogie Nights come
He's
out in
the
the
lead.
90s though? This is like-
97.
97.
97.
so this
Yeah.
is like beating up people, Mark Wahlberg. This isn't. This
This
is
is
cleaned up
fresh
his
off the
act
heels
post.
of a well, he's
I don't know,
yeah,
was
he's
he
more
big
rapper
movie?
than actor in '97, I think.
Yeah, Marky Mark from the Funky
Mhm.
Punch.
Yeah, he
well,
was
by
like,
then he was
getting
an actor. But this
Oh,
isn't
okay.
the happening Marky Wahlberg yet.
No,
Right,
no. This
right,
is
right.
Mark
Which
Wahlberg,
is-
like when he was a
That's
problem
good.
for everybody, right?
He was a little hot with the fists, as we call it. No one calls it that.
He,
Yeah, I think he
he
had like
committed a
one.
hate crime.
He had
Hot-
that.
I
that
said
one
hot with the
bad.
fists. Did you not get that from what I said?
does not
I
age
guess
well.
I didn't read
Hate
between the
crimes
lines.
involve hot fists.
I didn't read between the swings.
Hot with the fist. That's something you kids say.
That's
Hot with
you
the, it's
know,
something I'm gonna say now.
Hey, you
Yeah,
gotta
for
you gotta
sure.
be a trailblazer, like we said.
Watch
Jeremy's gonna
yourself for
break
that
into
guy.
porn. You're gonna break into
Yeah.
tween vernacular.
That's it. When you go in for your porn interview, be like, "Well, what's yours?" I'm hot with the fists.
Yeah.
That guy's in.
Mhm.
That guy's in. That'll be your
Look at
first
this guy.
film.
No, they wouldn't. They'd be like, you like.
Dude, because you got
You're-
the porn
you're a-
name already, right? Jeremy Dallas.
I
in
do.
Hot with the
He
fists.
does.
That's like the first thing. Okay, sorry. Quick side. One time I went to work at another hotel that I usually don't work at, and the first thing that director said, he's like, "Your name's Jeremy Dallas." I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Do you do porn?" I was like, "First thing he asked me.
Why?
He's like,
Porn
"'Cause you got a
name?
perfect porn name," and I didn't
Why
know
would
how
you
to
say
You
react.
that,
have a
though?
perfect porn name. He said that to your
He
face.
said that to my. That was the first thing he said to me.
I mean, he's not wrong, but like, why
Yeah.
open with that? Why is that your opener?
Do
You
you
gotta
think
wait.
there
Just going
are
fishing.
any?
So he was just going fishing, and sometimes you got to go deep sea fishing. And that's
Well,
what he-
you'll be happy
Yeah.
to know
Maybe
there
go
are no
bass fi-
Jeremy
bass
Dallas
fishing.
porn stars.
you're in.
There
yet.
is a video with Ron Jeremy and Dallas Miko, though.
Yeah, my figure.
That's
if
about
you
as
type
close as we
in-
can get.
What is
type
your
in
monitor on the
anything-
ceiling? What are you looking up at?
Yeah.
What?
Ben's all.
If you type in anything with Jeremy and
I'm so
porn
glad you got off the porn
in the
there.
search
That would have
engine,
been.
you're gonna just get a bunch of Ron Jeremy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
I saw him at speaking of the Roxy, I saw him at the Roxy one time.
Was he
Large
fat and ugly?
mustachioed. Large mustachioed. Oh my god, yeah. I was like, wow. I all of a sudden became not the ugliest guy in the room.
Yeah,
He
dude,
takes
that
that
guy
mantle
is-
pretty quickly.
Guy's
He
real
does,
ugly.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I saw
He's not
Lemmy
a
there
worker.
one time too, 1,000 years ago. Met Lemmy from Motorhead.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Did he still
And
have
his
those-
moles entered the
R.I.P.
room first.
yeah, exactly. I was
and
gonna
then
say.
came in behind him,
Yeah.
like a half hour later. And that guy was this big. Lemmy was like really tiny. So
What? That's
A lot of
crazy.
musicians
Didn't know
are.
that.
big moles,
apparently.
big moles though. Small body.
Bruno Mars was tiny. Kurt
Notable
Cobain
moles.
was tiny.
Bruno Mars is more than tiny. Bruno
He
Mars is
Well, he's
He's
Filipino,
brief.
right?
He's
He's-
5'4", right?
He's like Afro
No, he's 5'6",
Filipino or
he's
something like that.
5'6".
Something like that. Yeah.
He could be the little karate guy on the top of a trophy. He's so small.
Oh,
I-
he's 5'5".
Oh,
actually.
tiny.
What?
5'5". Holy
Yeah,
crap!
he's,
that is
he's
tiny.
trophy tiny, as the kids
Wow.
say. You guys don't say that?
Trophy
Trophy
tiny.
tiny?
Like I said, I
I'm-
will now.
Well, when
coming
he
up
gets
with
hired
somebody
for
tonight.
when he gets hired for weddings, he sings on top of the cake.
Yeah. Exactly. They just bring him out in. He didn't pop out of a cake. He's on the cake.
Yeah, he's there with the plastic wife.
I saw
Jesus.
Plastic Wife.
That is a good name for a band.
Mohawk.
I
Plastic
love
Wife is
everything
a
about
good
Plastic
that.
name.
The
Wife,
idea
that's going
that
in.
Bruno
Going
Mars
on the
is
list.
playing weddings.
On
I
top
saw
of
a
a
picture
cake.
of him recently on the Reddits or the Grams or whatever, and I
Yeah.
think it's him standing next to Katy Perry or something, and he is the tiniest thing ever. He's like a size 1 in baby shoes or something. That's how tiny. Crazy.
Yeah, well, Katy Perry's
kid
pretty
had-
tall. She's like 5'11", right?
Yeah, so he's even less than that. Did you get that?
Got it.
So, all right.
Oh, wait, Katy Perry's
Got
only
that down.
5'7". She's only 2 inches taller than him.
Still small.
Well,
how
she always,
old is-
almost probably always wears heels, right?
I think she's wearing heels, yeah, and he was not.
Yeah, and his, her fucking 4-foot heels to make her
Yeah.
really living large. She probably actually was. Now that I think about some of her outfits.
I live in large. We should give this a rating. I'll start.
Yeah, go ahead.
I give it a 3 out of 4. That's not right.
Wait,
Why are we
that's
changing?
I
it?
like
give it
90%.
75%, man.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Or 70
Damn.
75. Yeah, sorry.
Agreeing with
Okay.
those
A lot more than I
IMDb
thought.
ratings.
Where's my
Maybe I don't
friend?
understand the rating system. I give it. I
We've
give
only been doing it for almost a
Oh,
year.
Star Wars Episode
I'm
3, if you're
fucking
only
it in.
counting the first 4.
there exactly. So
Mhm.
it's a 1.
Mhm.
Wait.
It's I give it a 4. It's all right.
Okay.
That's
Kinda
reasonable.
mesh.
That's like I figured you'd give it something in the forgettable range. Anything that
Yeah.
it's like, if it's a 1, it's got to be like.
Like I'll
there's
never
gotta be
watch it
something good
again.
about it.
I'll never
Yeah.
be like, you know what, that nice guys, that's going to pull that one right out. Never, ever again. Sorry, Jeremy. You know, you hit it out of the
All right.
park with the This Is England, though. So
Well, thank you. I
that
got one
makes up for this
recommendation. Right.
complete failure.
Wow. Wow.
Well, let me just say that you are indeed in the minority, Daryl,
Mm-hmm.
because
This is true. I am
it does
the
have
most.
a 92% tomato meter,
Does it
and
really?
it does have a really good IMDb score.
Well,
and,
It does.
You always say IMBD.
I always do, and I always will.
yeah, it's all right. It's just
There's
that
no.
it's the tomato and the tomato's good is reliable because they gave The Last Jedi 93%. So we know how that goes.
Did they
and
really?
what
Right.
that means.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Last
they did.
Jedi
It
has
was-
a 93%.
Yeah.
The best.
Well, it did at
of
one time.
Those three movies, I will always still say
The Last Jedi of the best of those three movies.
it's the most rewatchable.
Is it really?
I think so. It's the most entertaining.
It has a oh no, the tomato meter is 90%, but the audience score is 42%.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, that
Oh,
sounds
okay.
about right.
So we should talk
But-
about the audience score. It's 79.
That sounds that's reasonable.
That's that makes
79%
sense.
is about right for what I would say.
Mhm.
What would you
Yeah.
give this movie, Jeremy?
I like this movie. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I really like it. It's not in my top 10 favorite movies, but I really like it. It's definitely a movie that I could rewatch. And every time I do rewatch it, I always laugh. I can't say just as hard, but only slightly less hard
I feel like.
than the last time.
Have you never seen
Nice.
Airplane? Because that is comedy gold.
That's a great movie. I love
Airplane's
Airplane.
a great movie. but-
Airplane is amazing.
But my favorite movie, probably maybe one of my favorite movies of all time, is Lebowski, and that's why I love
Fantastic.
this movie so
We
much.
should
is
absolutely
because
do
it's got the
Lebowski.
noir feel from Lebowski. It's got the ongoing mystery feel from Lebowski. It's got the dry, snappy humor from Lebowski. It's got the kind of dim-witted main character from
I love
Lebowski.
that movie. So good.
So it's got it hits all the same beats.
Hey man, there's a beverage here.
which is one of my
Yeah,
which
he
is one
said
of my
I could
favorite
take
movies.
any rug that I wanted.
Yeah.
I love Philip Seymour Hoffman's character in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I will say that I liked Nice Guys on my first watch more than I liked Lebowski. I needed to rewatch Lebowski.
Well, this
Really?
does have the action element to it, which Lebowski doesn't.
right.
That's true.
But I don't know. I mean, that might be part of it. But I think I don't know. Maybe it's. I mean, Lebowski is like you have to read into the humor, and it's almost like an Anchorman to me. You know, it's not the same style of humor, but you have to watch it
Mhm.
multiple times to
Anchorman.
to
That is
be
a
in on.
oh,
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
well, the first time I watched Anchorman, I didn't enjoy it
Lebowski-
either.
I still don't- I still don't enjoy that
Lebowski
movie.
was an instant.
yeah, at some point. And this is after years of seeing Jeremy wearing the dude T-shirt
Yeah.
all the
I do
time, and
wear
then
it,
just hearing
like,
about it.
religiously for a
Yeah,
lot of
all the
years.
time, all the time. And so I was,
Think about
I
that
was
movie-
afraid watching that movie, but then I watched it, and it held up to the hype, and it was better
It
than.
lived up to the hype.
Mhm.
How hard is that for a film to do? Because it was the same thing.
Yeah.
That movie been hyped up for years. Perry
Mhm.
had
Mhm.
talked about it forever. He wore the shirts too, and I finally watched it. I probably at this point 8 or 10 years ago now, but then I finally saw it. I was like, oh my god, this movie's amazing. It
Mhm.
does live up to the hype, and I loved it instantly.
Mhm.
And it's
Yeah.
instant classic for me, and I've seen it many times and show it to anyone that I possibly can. And
Yeah.
probably one of
So-
my
Yeah.
favorite Coen films besides Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
I need to
That's a
watch
great
that
one,
one
too.
I need to
I
watch that one.
love
Brother
Oh Brother
Where
Where
Art
Art
Thou.
Thou. So
That's a
good.
good one.
Not as good as Lebowski. but I think it's
Liz,
one of my favorites.
Liz, you seem heated in the chat, so I want to know what that what's about. Ben, did you give your rating?
I would give this movie an 8. This was
Okay.
a rewatch for me, actually. And
That's
I
very
enjoyed
rare.
it just as much. Yeah, I
Mm.
enjoyed it just as much this time. I think it's a funny movie. I think it's witty. I think it's clever. I think it's snappy. The story is probably the weakest element because a lot of the humor is derived from plot points happening, like the guy getting hit by a car or her jumping off a parking garage onto their car. It's like a running joke in the movie that like
Things
these
are
like
way too easy.
acts, yeah,
Mm.
these acts of God keep happening to them. I
Yeah.
think Ryan Gosling at some point is even like, I think I'm invincible. Like I'm pretty sure I can't die.
Yeah.
It's really funny, but at the end of the day, it is a hole in the writing. So
Yeah, that's true. Things
if that
just
kind of thing
happen.
bothers you, it will definitely
the
bother you
time.
about this movie. But yeah, overall, I mean, it's funny. and I laughed the second time I watched it, which isn't, the case for a lot of comedies that I've seen. So, there you go.
Thanks. So Liz is I want to hear
She's
your rating, Liz.
fuming.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, please post it.
hated.
She's fuming.
She's not fuming. But
hope
I'd give
not.
this movie like a 6.5. It's definitely not one of my favorite comedies. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I did fall asleep halfway through this movie when I watched it last today.
Not a good movie.
Yeah. Well, I'd already seen it a couple times before. So it was mainly just a refresher, and I was refreshed enough to sleep through the rest. So it did its job. And then but yeah, I mean, nothing too special, but it's very enjoyable. Even like watching it today, like I was still laughing up until I fell asleep. So it's good.
You laughed yourself.
Laughed yourself to sleep.
I
Yeah.
did.
Wow,
That's an
I did.
interesting thing.
The
to
worst
have.
is better than crying
Yeah.
yourself to sleep.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah.
Nah, man, crying yourself to sleep is the tip.
The best.
When you wake up in the morning and you're like, and your eyes are all dry.
Crying yourself to
it's
sleep
great.
in the shower is even better.
Mm. Falling
Do that
asleep in
beer
the
Wake up
shower.
all pruny.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! And it's freezing, right? Because you're in
Oh,
the
because all the hot water's gone.
Yeah.
And it's okay that you've pissed yourself though, because you're in the goddamn shower.
This is
Uh,
true.
So what does the girl on the phone say? She said you
I don't
said
know.
she-
I hope she's giving us her score.
She's contemplating her rating.
Oh,
She's
okay.
trying to figure out how to write 0 out
Yeah,
of
let's
10.
get her rating. Yeah, how many 0 stars?
Yeah.
She's just calling us all idiots now, except for you, Dad.
She's like, hey, get over here. These guys are idiots. Look at the stream.
they're giving this movie an 8. Ooh, she says 3 just because of the well done 70s fashion. It's good. Plot was
The-
trash
the
and not
jacket's
original
not very
humor,
good.
not funny. Oof. Tough.
Oof, scathing
Tough.
review.
Yeah,
Scathing review.
not funny.
Not
You're
good.
probably not funny either, Liz.
Whoa, whoa.
Our
And she's
audience
being
that you're
generous.
talking to.
I'll burn my
You're
audience.
talking to
the
the only
fucking
person
ground.
watching.
Fucking ground.
Come
I'll
on.
burn you to the ground.
Come on.
To the ground, audience.
I give
the
no
the
fucks.
fashion was great. I love their jackets for sure.
Mm.
I'm a big 70s porn jacket guy. I don't own any.
Yeah.
But I'd like to someday. It's like Michael Scott being part of a inside joke.
I
Yeah.
think about
How do
this
I-
every time we watch a period piece from this time period, Daryl, is whether or not it's 70s or whether it's like Hollywood 70s.
My dad was only like 5.
No,
No,
Not
no,
a whole
no,
lot of
73,
70s.
so I don't remember a lot of it. It's
Well,
pretty
maybe
gross.
8. He talks about he probably said this about the 80s then, but
The 80s for
oh.
sure. I have a very vivid remember.
But what you said that stood out to me, and this is why I brought this up, Danon.
Yeah, sorry. yeah, yeah.
One of your points was that like there's few movies that actually get the 80s right because they're so, or the 70s right, because they're so focused on the things that were like period, like
Mhm. Check out the cars and the jackets.
yeah,
And that's it.
yeah, all these things. And this is
Yeah.
definitely a Hollywood 70s movie. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
70s movie based off of that. This doesn't seem to me like it's the real
It was a
70s.
bullet point 70s
Yeah.
movie.
I mean, honestly,
Like
I'd
the
forgotten
gas
that this.
prices,
Yeah,
you know,
I've
the-
forgotten that
right.
it took place during the
pollution.
70s until I started the movie again.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah, I
it's
forgot about
literally
that
not
too,
a part
actually.
of the movie, really.
Did you know, speaking of the 70s, did you guys know
Nope.
that there was a 1977 Toyota Celica Star Wars model that it was made for a giveaway?
No.
Yeah.
That's
Man.
cool.
The
Mm.
only
It was
thing
part
would
of a
be that you'd have to
giveaway.
drive a fucking Celica.
Yeah. it was a GT asshole.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was super
GT
cool.
Star
okay.
Wars edition.
Mm.
And they don't know, it was given away to someone in 78, early 78, and they don't know what happened to it after it. Someone thought they
Oh, it was
tracked it
a-
down in 2015.
it wasn't
It's
even
re-
limited edition. It was just one car.
Just one car made for this
Wow.
giveaway.
Weird.
Because they were jumping on the Star Wars bandwagon. No one knew it was going to be this big, right?
Hmm.
So they're
Yeah.
thinking of anything and everything. So they took a Celica and they Star Warsed it, and then gave it away, and then
Oh wow.
hasn't been seen since. So
Hmm.
it's probably just rotted in someone's fucking garage and they got thrown away or something.
Maybe.
Got thrown away. How do
Well,
you?
my
throw-
first car-
Wait, do we know what it looks like? Did someone look it up?
Yeah, I found a picture of it.
It's cool, right?
I'll post
Um,
this in the
Post it in the Discord and I'll pull it
Yeah.
up.
Okay.
That was my
Um,
first car, actually. Not the Star
Really?
Wars one, but a 77 Celica. That's exactly what I had, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
man, you
dang.
poor soul.
Mine was calf shit brown, though. I tell you what.
Catch it, Brown.
What
There's
a lady catcher. I'm telling you.
There's
You
a
say-
there's a bit that who does that bit where they're like nobody ever wants the brown car. Everybody just ends up with the
Yeah,
brown
that's
car.
true. Yeah.
It's a hand-me-down color.
Let's get close to ending this thing because we've been going for
Yeah,
about
we've
2
been going
hours
long.
now. It's quite long. Hualong. Ooh, wow, that is cool. Look at that.
See, isn't it dope?
It's in the Discord, Jeremy, if you want
Check
to
it out.
bring it up. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's got Darth
No, yeah,
Vader on
look
the
at it.
front, on the hood.
Mhm.
It's got a
It
moonroof.
was, it was a one of a kind.
That is pretty cool, actually. Wow.
Man, that thing's dope. Well, do you want to
Yeah, yeah.
wanna
I'll
end
end
this
this
here
big.
on a cool Celica?
Yeah, our Celica note.
yeah, roll the commercial break and then ending footage, Danon.
I'm still writing the song. I'm not writing our song. So our next movie is going to be Boogie Nights.
I'm
And I really want to float this idea out. If you guys want to do another TV show, yeah, we could give it some time, for us to watch all the episodes. But Fargo season 3.
Oh,
I haven't.
I have to
seen
watch
it.
seasons 1 and 2.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I
It's
would
an
have to watch
anthology.
all of them, right?
No, it's an
Oh.
anthology.
Yeah,
Oh, it's an anthology.
You don't have. Yeah.
Season
That's cool.
3 of Fargo is probably one of the best
Really?
pieces of TV ever.
TV piece.
Yeah. Do you remember it, Dad?
What about? What's that?
Do you remember season 3? Remember when we were watching those?
Oh, I thought I needed to watch it. Is this the one with
It's got David Thewlis,
Fantastic. That one
Michael
was so good.
Michael Stahlberg, Mary Elizabeth Winstead,
that
Ewan
one's good.
McGregor's in it as himself twice. He plays his own twin, and they do it perfectly. He plays his own twin, but they do it perfectly. It's incredible. Like you don't
I played
even
my
like
own
bat
twin
an eye.
also.
Wow.
It's because you got one. So
I got
I would
one.
love to do Fargo season 3 because it is so good. And then watching Nice Guys and kind of talking about that, and then a little bit of the Coen Brothers movies like Big Lebowski reminded me of it. But it is fantastic. It's written by Noah Hawley, and he does a great job of adapting it and taking a lot of stuff from the original movie and kind of like sprinkling it in. But if you guys want to do that, I mean, we could start that now and do that in about 2 weeks. If you guys are cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I
down.
mean, that sounds good. I
How
just
many
finished,
episodes?
It's
Oh,
just
go ahead.
10 episodes.
Okay.
It's on
We'll do
Hulu.
that.
So it's a
So,
commitment.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I
it's
just
not light,
finished
but-
Queen's Gambit.
Mm.
I'm not pushing this as a watch and tell, but I definitely highly recommend that show. It's a limited series. It's only 7 episodes. It's only ever going to be
Mhm.
7 episodes.
Mhm.
Fucking
Great.
phenomenal.
Fantastic. It's like a perfect show. It's like a perfect miniseries.
It could have a better opener. It could have a better first episode. But
I just didn't like that
Uh,
little kid.
I didn't like that little kid either.
Yeah.
But
what
if you
little
get
kid?
past the first episode, you're in for some fucking treats with Anya Taylor. That girl knows how to act.
Uh-huh.
And she's
I just
also
She's,
very
watched,
pretty.
she is hot in a Sid the Sloth kind of way. She's got
She is.
those. Her eyes are like.
She's a
I don't know.
hot and a watch
Yeah.
both the front and backyard at the same time kind of way.
He's like, watch
She's
out for that
awesome.
pole. What pole? And then hits it because she can't see.
She's looking. She's a good looking broad. I just watched that terrible X-Men film that she was in.
Oh, you're talking about
New
the
Mutants?
fucking shitty Mr.
terrible
Glass
New
film.
Mutants. The New
New
Mutants.
Oh,
the
it's
newest
the horror
Yeah,
one
yeah.
or whatever.
Not,
That
not
one
great.
is really bad.
Not great.
Well, I mean, it was
For
in
some reason, I
development
thought
hell
you
for
were talking
years
about,
and years.
No. It's not horrible, but it's not also not great. But she's great in it. The Anya Taylor-Joy girl.
yeah, she's a great actress, man. She does a really good job with that Queen's Gambit character.
Queen's Gambit is great, but I do got a couple of big quibbles with it.
Oh,
But it's a great show. I really enjoyed it.
We should do that for another episode then.
Yeah, we
save
should
that
because
for
we're already
another-
at 2 hours. I would love to
Yeah.
talk about that one, but I did think it was great. But I have some
Have you seen it, Jeremy?
What were we talking about?
Queen's
Queen's
Gambit.
Queen's
Watch it.
Gambit's on
Queen's
Netflix.
Gambit. Oh no, I haven't.
Yeah.
Not even for this, just for your own entertainment.
Just
It's
watch
like
Yeah,
it.
it's
Well, let's
I
let's
blew-
do
I
it.
blew
well
it
worth
out.
watching.
Let's do it in
Yeah.
2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we'll do that. We'll push Fargo back for whenever we
Oh,
want
okay.
to because I mean, I
There you
really
go.
want to
Less
do
of a
that. I really want
This
to
is
do
all
that.
Seven
this is still
But
fresh.
this
Let's
is
talk about
fresh. Yeah,
Queen's
Queen's Gambit. We'll do it in 2 weeks. Next week is gonna be Boogie Nights. I'll put it all in the Discord so y'all can follow it. And
Cool.
that's it. So
Maybe stay it.
Sweet.
yep, that's
All right,
all.
I do have.
So
to
yeah,
Alright.
I need to pee too.
Trying to pee.
And it'll happen.
pee.
I
Let
didn't
us
drink
know.
anything tonight. I didn't have any beer, so I just.
Oh, it's okay.
had to
So
drink
this
my
is the
own
We Like
spit.
This podcast. We just did The Nice Guys. Oops, lost that. So you can catch us on Instagram at We Like This Podcast, and we also have the Discord, which is in the link of this or the description of this episode, so you can follow us there. We post all the updates, movies that we're watching next, all that kind of stuff, and you can just like be a part of the community. It's actually a lot of fun. I like it.
Yeah. Sometimes we
Um,
talk to each other.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes Jeremy talks to all four of him.
Mhm.
You can
For
catch that
himself.
show on our Discord
Yeah,
because no one
that's
else is
actually
watching.
on. That's
The
a
Jeremy.
Patreon only thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
exclusive.
If you're ever in the
content.
if you're ever in the
Only
Discord and you
fans
see that's on our
We got to get Jeremy off his
podcast OnlyFans.
medication.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to get off his medication for a month,
Mhm.
and then he's primed and ready to go. All of them.
Dude, that'd be so funny to set
All
up
of
a podcast OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Oh my
Podcast
god,
OnlyFans.
absolutely. Let's do it.
Working on it.
All right.
That'd be awesome.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I love the chat. Thank you, Liz, so much for being
Yes, I'm sorry,
What's it?
Liz.
What
I'm
is it?
sure
What
you're
is
very
it?
funny.
Yeah. Bring your vitriol.
yes,
please. This is
every
great.
time. But yeah, so we live stream every Tuesday at 7:30 usually. So you can catch us every week, Tuesday 7:30. Next week is Boogie Nights. So
It'll be the same time for me next week too because I am working.
Thank you,
hours.
Okay.
Gina,
thank you, Gina, as well, for your
Thank
earrings.
you, Gina.
Yeah, the
for your fucking
bass catching earrings.
for
Yeah.
your bass
Your
catchers.
bass catching
Yeah.
earrings.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.